don't know, Nintendo they just they took him down, and
Mhm.
And now they're locked in a dungeon.
they're probably like in the dungeon. They're probably I know.
The ninjas got him.
Yeah.
There have been a few more updates today, actually.
Oh, yeah.
since all that.
It's been
I have
crazy.
yeah, we have the list here. So yeah, basically that's what we're starting today. There's a lot more before that we can go over, but if we do go over all the leaks, like Andre said before the podcast, we will never. This is not going to be a 2-hour podcast. It's going to be like a 5 or 10 hour podcast if we go over everything. But the most recent CES podcast, I'm not going to talk about what they said because they mentioned some things that are not really recommended for people to be doing. Is that what you're showing there? What Andre showing there?
They're playing a game in the chat, trying to guess what I'm eating. So I just
okay.
reveal so they can know who won.
No, I thought you were giving me a hint about Switch 2, like Switch 2 reveal. Was it on that wrapper? I'm like,
I mean, I don't know. Let me see. Let me
Tasty
check the
wrapper.
expiration date real quick. There's a chance.
right.
What
So
are you eating?
It's just a protein
bar.
granola bar.
I knew it.
I was
Protein
close.
bar.
I said Nutri-Grain bar.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
it's a
my-
Nature Valley
Close enough.
protein bar. Salted
My-
caramel nut.
Nice.
It's chewy.
My first question is, knowing that, okay, let's all assume this, what we have here, what you're looking at, is the official. Okay, it's unofficial because Nintendo has not yet announced it, but let's just assume this is it. I want to get everybody's first thoughts on just the appearance. We can't really tell anything else but the appearance. Just So what do you think, Paul?
I think it looks slick. I mean, I'm a big fan of Nintendo portables. I've always thought they've looked good. And this is just one more. Of course, it's a hybrid system, to be fair.
Yeah.
From a portable nature as it is, being shown here, it looks really slick, really clean. I think that the regular Nintendo Switch is still a good-looking device. I think when Nintendo hit like DS Lite, probably, that was like the new era of modern curved flat combination. Well, not curved, I should say. Flat, but nice slick devices, more modern. And this just looks to be more of that. However, I do really like the ZLZR buttons. We don't know if they'll be analog or not, but they are more GameCube-esque, and I think that's going to feel better for your fingers just chilling in there at all times. It's a really pretty looking thing. I mean, if that's the color scheme, and for sure you got this orange on the inside underneath this analog stick and blue underneath that, that's enough of a difference that it's just like, sometimes you want to wear a full Mario suit to get attention. And sometimes you just wear a plain black shirt and like one nice Triforce pin, and all eyes go to that one Triforce pin on your black suit because it stands out and this is a fine highlight. Like sometimes less is more. And here it's so sleek and so clean and simple, yet you get drawn to this one little thing here, one little thing there. That doesn't have to be big and elaborate. Now, if they had like an all purple model and all red model, I'd probably buy that because I like it kind of wild. This is going to be good for most people, myself included. If this is it, or almost 100, like 99% it, I love it. It didn't get much better,
That's a perfect way to put it. Less is more, and I think by doing those little highlights of color, they actually did kind of make it makes you look at it. So you're right. It looks more sleek, more professional, more pro. So yeah, what do you think, Andre?
Well, I have a lot of thoughts. I'm thinking them. I do want to kind of like piggyback on the shoulder buttons. I love how big they look, and we've seen dimensional comparisons. And what's I think such a big deal about the shoulder buttons being so much larger, they're not analog. Like you can see, there's like no space there. Unfortunately, I hope somehow they are, but they're probably not. But because they're so large, one, they're gonna be comfortable to press, right? But something that this footage does also show, it's like the fourth piece of evidence right there, where it has the red blinking light.
Yeah,
it's additional evidence to support the idea that the Joy-Cons will have the option to be used like a mouse. I'm using a third-party Joy-Con right here, for example, but with the Joy-Cons being bigger, having more rounder edges, they're going to be more comfortable to hold than Joy-Con 1 for Switch 1. And with those bigger shoulder buttons, but guess what? They're going to feel better. They're going to feel a little bit more like an actual mouse.
Yeah.
And so the thinking is that we're going to be able to like put this like on a tabletop as an as an additional option, right? It's not going to be the main way you play games for most people, but you will have it as an option. And this is going to be something we can use to play a whole bunch of games. Like a lot of PC gamers prefer playing games on PC because of mouse controls, right? And so we're going to have this option. I mean, presumably, right, based off what we're seeing here, in a lot of games. And so I just think about like, what if Metroid Prime 4 is the launch title, and they add this functionality to Metroid Prime 4? It's a first-person shooter, has essentially mouse controls, right? Like you can use the right Joy-Con. Actually, this wouldn't be a good one for it, because the other thing is that like when you flip it like this, you also have access to the face button of the control stick, right? So you still have access to all the buttons, and so you can play in that way, and then you still have the other controller. You hold it normally, and you can get a lot done that way. I think it'd be something really neat. There's a lot of application there, but it's something that's like surprisingly different, but it's still within the mold of what the Joy-Cons already are, and it just kind of. I just like the thinking behind it, right? Because the Joy-Cons already were kind of like a Swiss Army knife of a controller, right? They could already do so many things. There was multiple ways to hold it. Now this will be another way to do a whole bunch more. And so that's exciting. And I also want to echo your points on just like the look of the controllers. I think they look great. I love the accents. You know, like it's still kind of reminds you of the initial blue, the neon blue and neon red Joy-Con colors, except now it's like, you know, it's within this more sleek, luxurious black. And so I like what we're seeing here. Obviously, there's maybe some little things that may not be totally right, because this is a render based off. Well, at first they said it was based off a Switch 2 they stole from they bought from the black market. And then after Nintendo commented that it wasn't official, and then after their booth disappeared, they then had to put out a statement that it was just based off the leaks. So they changed their messaging. Either way, the leaks have suggested this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This is close to it. It looks like a Switch. Let's keep that real.
Yeah.
It's close to it, probably.
Yeah, and I have to say, I got my CAD files from a different accessory company. It's the same exact thing. So, you know, it's like when you have several people behind the scenes, accessory companies kind of offering you CAD files, because they send me the CAD files up front because they have accessories they're going to send me over also. This is I'm not covering it up. I'm just going to tell you guys, I got accessories for Switch 2 that are on the way, and I have the CAD file. So I 3D printed the thing first, so that when the accessories come over, I can show you what they are. And they send me the same exact thing. So it's the same exact thing.
I do want to say that I am very inclined to think this is like the closest to like what the real thing is as possible, because there's random details that other renders or mock-ups wouldn't show. For example, well, we just talked about that red light, right? But not only that, look at the pin at the top, right? So as you can see, like at the top of the blue accent and the bottom part, like that's where the magnets are. But at the top part, there's also a little pin that comes out when you press that button right below the trigger, and that pushes out the controller to help disengage the magnetic connection. That's an attention to detail that I would not expect to see if this is just based off like the CAD renders that have been circulating, right? This is like additional effort, and if they were trying to, like, if this is they wouldn't guess this, is my point, right? Like there would just be nothing there.
Right.
This is more likely they have an even more advanced understanding of what the Switch 2 actually is.
Yeah, I feel accessory companies, especially those who make third-party controllers, you know, those who have the knowledge of what is coming, because I'm pretty sure Nintendo has a partnership with some, like for example, Power A. I'm pretty sure Power A already knows the entire detail of everything, because they make controllers for the Switch, and so when they're going to make the controllers, they need to have the same exact specifications. Maybe they have a license to add amiibo, you know, to the Joy-Cons or to the controllers themselves. So I don't doubt that there are companies out there with the knowledge, like Genki, who had I don't believe one bit that this was made out of what they've heard. They were told to say this to cover their butts, and that's what. Like. Yeah, and so. I mean, I'm not gonna. I was gonna say I bet this. I'm not gonna say that. I'm always betting everything. I'm not gonna bet anything else. But I agree.
Are you a good poker player?
I probably not, because I probably put all the chips in there. Like, oh, I don't care, just here.
Every turn,
I'm all in.
You'll win 3 rounds in a row, but that 4th round, you'll eventually just lose it all.
I know. That's probably why I don't bet. I don't even. But I agree. Just to let you guys out there, because I know there's a lot of people out there who say, man, this looks like the Switch, but you have to understand.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
To get to the Switch, they had to go through a lot, right? To get to that form factor where they can please both handheld and consoles, they had to go through a lot. So this is the perfected form factor for Nintendo to offer us 12 months of video games rather than just dividing it in handheld and console. So every Switch moving forward is going to have a big screen. It's going to have the touchable controllers, right? So you can expect that moving forward from Nintendo. So this right here is them just making what we already have better, right? What to you, what's wrong with the Nintendo Switch right now, right? 7 years later, 8 years later, power, right? And some features. So what they're doing is they're giving us the power that we need. They're adding some little extra features. And so here we have the Nintendo Switch with an 8-inch screen, by the way. If you didn't see the video today, I showed you a higher level of technology of LCD that looks way better than the LCD they used back in, I would say 2016, 2015, because the LCD from the Nintendo Switch base model, it's like from 2015, 2014 technology, right?
It's gonna look good. Like, it's not gonna look like way worse than OLED.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is what I did just to give you guys an idea. Right on top of that is a technology called IPS, right? IPS is used a lot with gaming monitors, right? There's still more on top of that. Mini LED. There's QLED, right? And then OLED on top of here. I just gave you guys just a little bit higher than what they had, and that's still like miles away from what they had in the Nintendo Switch. So the worst case scenario, we still get an IPS screen, which is still a lot better. Best case scenario, mini LED, QLED, and moving forward, right? We don't know yet until Nintendo kind of reveals it. But I digress. I'll talk forever. But Joycey,
Sorry.
Talk to me.
Sorry, Joycey. Before you do, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I think we have a super chat.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we do.
What is that?
Can we move the video out of the way?
What is that? Let's move it out of the way. Okay.
Okay.
Super chat from Thiago Balbino. That's a nice name.
A big hello here from Brazil. Did you see NVIDIA's presentation at CES? Practically said we will have DLSS4 on the Switch 2, as it will be compatible with the Ampere technology of the RTX series. I'm gonna go ahead, Mike. Yeah, answer that.
DLSS4 on the Nintendo Switch 2 is a huge deal. We were expecting what, DLSS 3.1, Andre, on the Switch 2.
Well, that's what most people thought. I didn't.
DLSS. What did you think?
Well, there's just a lot of debate about this, and semantics involved, but basically, I think also a lot of confusion in terms of how DLSS works. And I don't want to act like I'm a master of understanding all this, right? But basically, DLSS, right, is it improves resolution, but there's more to it than that. And so as that number gets bigger, there are more features that are stacked on top of it.
Yeah.
And I gotta double check, but I believe with DLSS 3, it's just basically the most advanced version of like improving resolution, right?
Yeah.
With 3.1, there's frame generation, which can improve frame rate, right?
Yep.
Which that's what there was an initial report of DLSS 3.1, but people not realizing that DLSS 3.1 includes frame generation. The rumors would also say, oh, it doesn't have this feature though. But that's the whole point of DLSS 3.1. So that's why there's like this confusion and why I've been I want to double check my facts here, but it's something along those lines, right? And then there's 3.5, which includes ray reconstruction, which is essentially just a DLSS of it's what creates ray tracing. It's their answer for ray tracing, which is a simulation of real world lighting effects. Basically, it makes games look really pretty. And so that's like we've heard about ray tracing to some extent. So that's why I've been kind of like, well, I mean, we kind of like have something similar to DLSS 3.5 for Switch 2, right? That's what I've been kind of thinking. I haven't heard about DLSS 4 yet. I guess that's kind of maybe something that they're pushing now from the most recent NVIDIA conference. So I would have to look into that. I have not seen the presentation. I probably should watch it this weekend.
Yeah.
So that excited me because my personal theory on the Switch 2's release and the delay had to do with the NVIDIA chips being delayed, because originally these 50 series chips, we were thinking they were going to come out months ago. And with these 50 or be announced months ago, and with them being announced months ago, these features like DLSS 4 would have also officially been announced. And I felt like the Switch 2 is going to support DLSS 4, and that's why they haven't been able to announce it, is because they've been waiting. And for those who don't know, DLSS stands for Deep Learning Super Sampling. And so
what a mouthful.
Yeah.
Actually, in a nutshell, in a nutshell, it's AI. In a nutshell, it's just AI sampling from what you already have in the game and making the image a lot better. So for those of you who are not, it's just AI using the chip that they have. Pretend the chip is a little computer, and the little computer is a little Siri. And say, hey Siri, can you make my game better? Okay, and it just makes it better. That's what the LSS is. This is
Hello, listen.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, I thought that you guys are great voice actors. Like, there are multiple times you guys say something like, "Oh, is that a video?" Oh no, that was just him talking. Wow,
Zach's the best.
So that
with
news has
voices.
me excited specifically because I think that is what the Switch 2's release was delayed for. And
I'm looking at what it is. Just skimming through, it looks like DLSS 4 is essentially just improving. I mean, it says multi-frame generation and enhancements for all DLSS technologies. So it just sounds like a better version of what already exists.
Yeah. And not to mention that Nintendo has their own AI upscaling as well. That there's a patent out there, and then there's also a corroboration that they could also be working on implementing their own version of AI upscaling. So, what we think is that Nintendo has some technology to partner with NVIDIA to present something new to the market that we've never seen before. For what people may call an underpowered console for the times, like let's say PlayStation 4 power, but something secret, like a secret sauce on top of that will make people's minds blow and like go, how is this doing this? Nintendo is the king of doing the impossible.
Yeah,
So we'll find out.
This console's made with something DLSS like in mind, right? I'm sure it is customized, hence the patent, right? And the patent even shows other features like being able to use this technology to like make game files smaller, right? To fit in bigger games with the cartridges. And so there's a lot of application. But to your point, like I think when I see like the Digital Foundry like comparison saying, oh, it's not going to be as powerful as people are saying. Well, I kind of understand from one perspective of, hey, maybe we should dial it back a little bit. We've been here before. Every new Nintendo generation, we're like, oh, this is going to be a beast, and it's not. I kind of get that, but at the same time, I think we are probably underestimating the benefits of this because we haven't really seen it in practice for something that's been built specifically for this system. So
Yeah, I agree. That's a good explanation. Anybody want to add to this, or you think we're good?
I just have like the most, basic question, and you guys know what I'm going to ask. Does it play Zelda?
games?
It plays Zelda better, Joyce.
Yeah, it not only plays Zelda, it makes it look better.
Yeah,
So-
there you go.
Prediction.
Yeah,
So
go
you
ahead.
know how like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, you could do so much in this beautiful, massive world.
Uh-huh.
And so the next Zelda game, is going to have that level of freedom and interaction,
Mhm.
but it's going to look better than Horizon.
I
Ooh,
got
shots fired.
Ooh,
I got a
somebody
big
clip
pre-
that.
I got a bigger prediction though. A much bigger prediction. You will be able to finally pet the dog.
Yes. Switch 2 for the win.
You just had to
That'd be
one up.
We
great.
can talk to cats now, so
That's the
we're
extra
getting closer.
CPU and
That's
GPU boost.
yeah.
Poor dog.
Real
When I
quick.
played Breath of the Wild and then after played God of War, I saw the limitations that God of War had in its non-open worldness. Like you can't go up this little 2-foot piece of snow right here.
That's,
The game was
that's
beautiful.
an
It
invisible
was
barrier.
gorgeous. The gameplay was terrific. Awesome story. Loved it. But was it better or more fun than Breath of the Wild? No, and that's not no shade. It's just two very different games. But as I was playing through God of War, which came out after Breath of the Wild, I was like, dang, eventually being able to play a game that looks this good, but with Nintendo's design philosophy and a franchise that I hold more dear, even though I like Kratos, I do like Zelda more, and with that type of gameplay mechanics and just world fidelity building, it's going to be something special. Which basically is what we wanted since we saw that Wii U Zelda Tech demo, but cranked up to 11 on Nintendo Switch 2. I think we're going to get something like that. I wanted to make one little note because I saw it in the chat, and then something that somebody triggered, maybe it was Mike, maybe it was Andres, regarding the form factor of the Nintendo Switch 2,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Yeah.
You know what hasn't changed in 15, 20 years? TV monitors. They're black when they're turned off, and they're 16 by 9, and we've been living with that forever. PC monitors, they're black when they're turned off, and they're 16 by 9, and that's it. Every iPhone or smartphone, they're little rectangles this big, yet you keep buying them every few years because of what they could do, because the camera's better, the software's better, they're faster, they connect to the internet better. Every tablet that you've purchased, from iPad or whatever, from 2010 to now. Every laptop that you buy, it's still a rectangle screen that flips open like this with a keyboard in front of it. They didn't change the look of QWERTY. QWERTY is still there on front of you, you know? So even though I've come from an era that I love that every console I've ever purchased looks different, from NES to SNES and N64, seeing the different curvatures come and go, game is the most important. They've gotten to such a good build with Nintendo Switch
Mhm.
that I think maybe what Mike said is like, yeah, it's just going to be the games going forward. And who cares if the form factor doesn't look all that different anymore? I mean, not to say, well, can't you do more? Well, yeah, you do more in terms of games, or like Andre said, something new like this.
There's
optical
functionality here. I think people are really on we're sleeping on the changes that Switch 2 will have. You know, we haven't seen Nintendo hasn't revealed the console. They even from the little we have seen, like we can see some hints towards some new features. We don't know what the C button does. We have no idea what the C button does. Like that could be a whole other thing.
Yeah, it's a cat button. It calls cats over. Push
I mean, it could be cats, and that would be a game changer. I
I
think it's
know.
a community button.
community.
We'll see.
I think it's, well,
Which
the
can
thing is,
include
community,
cats, by the way. Just
the thing
saying.
is that community will restrict it though. If you put connect, then it could be connected with a community, connect with something, connect with something else. You know,
Like the share button.
Something not too drastic that if you accidentally hit it, it won't ruin gameplay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the experience.
I
Yeah.
have
Shout out to
theories.
Demonic Brawler for a super chat, $5. Thank you so much for that super chat. And he
Thank
says,
you.
did Walmart of Canada hint at the reveal? What if they announce in it direct presentation? Makes sense if they really plan on a shorter release window. What do you think, Joycey?
So my
Um,
thing is, real quick, guys, little bit of administration work. Please check our private chat behind the scenes because I
Okay.
have questions. And also shout out to Boo Mini, always coming through with the support. Thank you so much for your member. We appreciate you and we love you. We see you all the time. I love Boo Mini.
I'm impressed that they were able to gift a membership to themselves instead of just signing up for a membership.
Right?
I think that's random.
That
it happens. It
It
happens.
happens.
That's so funny.
grateful.
Because I was like,
He's done that
how did
before.
that happen?
Yeah.
here's my thing with Walmart Canada. It's not that I don't think that somebody knows something, because on the upper echelon of contract signing and all that other kind of stuff, I think somebody knows something.
Yeah.
Right? Because you also have to remember, this is excitement for us. This is a job for them, right?
Mhm.
So when they tweet stuff out like that, usually something is coming. That doesn't mean it's coming this week. Doesn't mean it's coming next week or anything. But something's coming. So I do think they know something, but they may not know like the specifics. You know what I mean? So I think
I got
maybe.
a counterpoint though.
Walmart of Canada.
Okay.
My counterpoint is, I think, and people may not want to hear this, but I think it's a social media person, right? And they just start doing this stuff when there's already buzz. Because there's been times we've seen tweets like this and nothing came out until like months later. Because sometimes the buzz is wrong, right? Like we go back to last September. We had the buzz for the Walmart was tweeting then too. Nothing happened. And so my theory is simply that they're just in on it with us. They're paying attention to the rumors and leaks, watching the videos. And so once that buzz starts, they then tweet. And then when that tweet happens, YouTubers or me are like, oh my God, they know something.
What is this?
But what's funny, the reason they only made the tweet is because we started talking about it to begin with.
Yeah.
But
Let's go to Walmart and shop now. Let's do it.
that's my counterpoint. I don't know, right? That's just a theory I have. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I left it in the chat, and if you want to see it, but yeah, I do agree with Andres on this one, because they're not saying anything. They're like, okay, well, we're a few weeks in 2025. When are you expecting to have a Nintendo Direct? And they also changed the banner on their account. They changed the banner with Mario and Luigi, and that's why people are making a buzz about it. Because they're probably hinting a new Mario Kart game, right? And the community manager, whoever's managing Walmart of Canada, they were like replying to everything like, "Oh, Mario Kart 9 will be amazing. Yeah, it will be amazing." Like they're not confirming anything. Like if you go to the actual comments, you can see that they're doing a great job of having the trend and the buzz going.
Yeah.
Can you just ask them, Lily? Can you travel like 10 miles and just ask them what's up?
Yeah, come on, Lily.
It's not 10 miles. It's
Seriously.
actually literally, I have a Walmart here, so I can just go.
You know what? We'll put the podcast on hold.
I don't want to drive like in 14 degree Fahrenheit outside. Like,
That's
no,
not
thank
bad.
you.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
14 it's bad. It's minus
Take one
10
for the team,
Celsius.
Lily.
Hey, Walmart Canada, when's this thing coming out? Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
if
by
you
the
walk
way-
by and
Tell
just
me.
ask to speak to a manager.
I do
the
think
comment-
the buzz gets it right fairly often, though, right? Like if my theory is right that Walmart just follows the buzz,
Yeah.
and that's why it seems like they have a decent correlation with things happening. That's because the buzz is more often right than wrong. Not always right, but eventually that reveal has to happen, and
Yeah, sure. For
they've
sure.
already promised us a date, so we're getting really close.
So listen to this.
Yeah.
This is a direct. I want to comment on the fact on the part where it says the shorter release window from presentation. I feel like it is gonna be happening like that. It's gonna be a short from reveal to store shelves. Quick one, just because the Nintendo Switch basically is. We all know how to play a Switch. We all know how to dock it. We all know how to use Joy-Cons, right? There's a lot of things they don't have to do. All they have to do is just focus on the new, right? And the video games. And so I think that a lot of their presentation will be focused on third party, that whatever is new on the system, Joy-Cons, the bigger screen, all that stuff. And that will lead to a shorter window. We'll talk about it later on because part of our topics is the release window, because we did literally minutes before the podcast. I would say maybe 30 minutes before the podcast, we just got a drop from a potential leaker person who leaked the Alarmo presentation, and also they leaked something else. I completely forgot what it was. But
The PlayStation Pro.
yeah,
PlayStation 5 Pro.
yeah, so that person hinted at a release date and trailer reveal, and we're gonna go over that. But if that's the case, my friend, when this trailer drops, get your wallets ready, because I think that's gonna be pre-order time.
Wait, can I say something?
we're not gonna wait. We're not gonna wait. For example, because last time it was a trailer, right? Trailer, then stage presentation. In the stage presentation time, that's when the pre-order started, and then March 3rd release. Right? This time, if they skip one of them and they just go straight to a big Nintendo type direct presentation, maybe like a 10-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute presentation showing the system and games. They're gonna drop the pre-order date too. So make sure you guys have your wallets ready. I recommend that pay for thing if you don't have the funds right away. Use a little pay for wallet, whatever. But it's gonna go down. Go ahead, Jesse.
I forgot now.
Oh my God, Mike,
I be trying to tell you stuff.
But we're talking about
Well,
Well,
it
the thing is,
was your turn to talk about the leaks, Joycey.
Yeah,
Before we're done with the super chats.
What was the question?
it was we're talking about the release window to reveal. So like reveal to release window, instead of being 6 months like it was for the Switch, it's been for past systems it was a year, right?
Oh.
This time it is just 6 months. Look at that, take out that shade.
No, this isn't for you. This is for what I'm about to say. New year,
Okay.
same old me, same shade.
Okay, go ahead. You can do
Except I'm gonna pray more.
no,
Okay, so here's the thing. Maybe because I'm getting old.
Yeah.
But I'm fine though, but I'm still getting old. I'm patient. I
Mhm.
know it's coming. We're still getting games, y'all.
Yeah.
We're still getting games. Oh, shout out to you, Boo Mini, again for another gifted membership. We
you.
appreciate
No,
you.
it's the same one. I just wanted to highlight it to make sure it's on
I thought,
screen.
I thought I saw another one.
No, yeah, there's
did?
a second one. Yeah,
Really?
No, she did. It's the second
Yeah.
one.
Okay, I don't see it. I'm gonna start. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Justin.
There's a reason I do the administration around here.
Go ahead.
She
So look.
got this. Yes, she does.
So here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm very patient, and so many people are not patient. And they think that, all these leaks are happening. It's all Nintendo's fault. No, guys, I think we're all, myself included, are a bit entitled. Okay? Nintendo said by March 31st, we're going to tell you something. That is what I'm banking on. Do I have ideas that these leaks, where there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Yeah.
And I don't believe they just have this warehouse full of Switch 2s that they're not going to put on sale and release sometime in the reasonable near future.
Yeah.
I do think March is too quick of a turnaround time. I'm like, okay, so let's just go with the leaks, right? Let's say it comes out this month and then it goes on sale in March.
Mhm.
I have a hard time with that. You know what I mean? I'm like,
I'll
just because
believe it when I see it.
yeah, I
Right?
believe it. I'm with Andres on that one. Now, if you tell me May, June, I can get behind that. But then again, I am not a multi-billion-dollar business, so the fact that these things have been in production in the warehouse since September? Guys, help me out. I don't remember.
Maybe earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wait, what are we asking?
Like
When did it start? Yeah, manufacturing. Thank you.
Yeah.
When did it start manufacturing? Like September, October?
There's some debate to be had there, but we were debating it around then. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
Give or
So-
take a month or so around then, it seems like it started.
So my concern is because this happened, I believe, with Mario and Luigi, even though Brothership, even though that was just a game, there
Mhm.
was somebody who just stole a stack of them like out of a truck or something like that, and they're just out there,
Mhm.
And it was before the game was able to get to stores and be sold. So I have a hard time thinking that Nintendo's just going to hang out and just keep us, just announce it even by March, and then just keep a whole bunch of Switch 2s just in a warehouse until like September, October.
Yeah.
Because somebody's going to, because then we can believe the story of, yeah, there's a Switch 2 out there on the black market somewhere. Then we can totally believe that. So
Mhm.
the leaks, in my opinion, are just fun. It's great for us to speculate. I'm actually laughing at it. My tweet the other day was of Squidward, where he's like has the glasses on and he's like sunbathing and he just looks over and then puts his glasses back on. That's how Nintendo is looking at these leaks. Yes, they're mad.
Yeah.
Yes, they're mad and they wish it didn't get out. But I mean, we're kind of
Still
doing
gonna
the advertising for him.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
either super brilliant or it's super bad. I don't know. But y'all know all I care about is okay. I just want this thing released so I can start counting down to the next Zelda game.
I agree. You make a good point there that, I don't think these systems are in some type of warehouse. Maybe Nintendo's warehouse, they're stocking up. But maybe no, obviously no major retail warehouse has them yet. I think that Nintendo with this system, they're not gonna ship until like literally the last minute, like the week of,
Possibly.
and so that'll be a good way to make sure this does not happen. I don't believe one bit, not even a little bit,
Not
that
even-
that this system is already out there on the darker market. You know what I mean? Because pictures, I mean, if you're gonna buy a system on that market, don't you think that you're evil enough to just take a picture and put it online already?
How secret and dark is this market, right? Because
I don't know.
listen, man,
it's the gray market.
There have been games that people find ways to buy like a
Mhm.
month early or something because they sometimes get out, and then you see them on YouTube, right? Like if it's that kind of market, this would be on YouTube already. This would be everywhere. People would be playing games on it, right? Like it would be terrible, right? But we would see it.
Exactly.
It's not that, it can't be that public. But is there some sort of like weird other dark world that I don't have any access to? I mean, I'm gullible enough to at least entertain the idea, but
Yeah, I agree. I think it would have been out already if it were in some type of evil dark
I got a question for y'all.
market. Okay.
And I saw this in a video, and I'm just entertaining the idea.
Mhm.
So while I don't believe that these leaks, rumors, whatever, I don't think that moves Nintendo. They're like, y'all can leak all you want. You're not going to have anything until we release it.
Mhm.
However, do you think it's a good possibility that they do? Because I'm thinking Switch 1 where we'll do a trailer, and then maybe by March we get the presentation, and then May,
June?
June we get the actual release. Do you all think that Nintendo might do something different and say we're just starting out with the trailer, immediately followed by the presentation? By the way, you can pre-order it now for still maybe May release. Maybe pre-order it.
Pre-order
Because
from now.
I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped a pre-order like right after presentation, if the presentation is closer to like this month than later.
I would say 3 month pre-order instead of
That's
a
fair.
5-month pre-order. Yeah, because I think Switch OLED had about a 3-month pre-order period from that. So they can give us a shorter. I think that what could happen is, let's say, all right, let's go over to that leak. All right, let's go over to the leak so we can start talking about like the release dates and stuff like that. That person from PlayStation, whatever, right? The leaker who leaked PS5, and then the person who leaked the Alarmo guy. He mentioned that he has some information about the release date of the Nintendo Switch 2, the trailer or the reveal date or the announcement date for Switch 2. And so he mentions that the release date of the reveal date for Nintendo's excuse me, Nintendo Switch 2 is January 17th. Okay, the reveal date is January 17th. But this is where it gets a little bit more like
That's a Friday, ain't it?
yeah.
Yeah,
He
it's
said-
not happening.
January 17th is the reveal date, and then March 3rd, the same day as Switch 1, is the release date.
That's a Monday.
That's
I
a
don't like
Monday.
March 3rd this year. I like March 7th.
Nintendo
and I
does
want
not
it
do
to beat
reveals
March
on
3rd
Fridays.
and beat
Nintendo does
Xbox
not do
360
releases on
record.
Mondays.
So
Okay, let me to counter that point, because that is a very good point, Andre.
there's one
But
more thing.
now, wait, we're now officially under Furukawa's watch. Do you think it's a possibility that they could literally switch?
We've been
things up?
under Furukawa's watch for a while already, and none of these trends. There's no precedent for either.
But it's by himself
thing.
now. He doesn't have a lot of ideas to bounce off of anymore.
Yeah, this is his first launch release, all on his own.
So, okay, I would argue that given that he's a businessman, he'd be more practical and rely on historical precedent to make good decisions than to start doing something that's never been done before. So, I mean, listen, I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying that if we're going to believe a rumor, when the rumor doesn't have anything about it that makes any like sense based off prior precedent, not to mention the insane turnaround, like it's too hard to believe. There's three different things there that they're saying that all require extraordinary evidence. Like just one claim there is ridiculous. There's three ridiculous claims there, so I can't believe it.
Yeah. So just to give you just to push back on a little bit on Andre on Furukawa being a businessman and then following the history. There's a reason why Steve Jobs chose Tim Cook to be his predecessor, because he wasn't going to follow in Steve Jobs' footsteps. He was going to be a money man. He's going to follow the money and make decisions based on what benefits the company financially, which drove Apple to be the first $1 trillion company in the world. And so I think Furukawa, as a money man, he's going to be a great delegator into hiring the best marketing team to bring about success for Nintendo. You know, diversifying is the best. Diversifying is the money man's best quality, and so that's what we are now. We have movies, and now we got theme parks, and then we got. I think that's Furukawa's baby. You know, the theme park movies, all that stuff, is making sure Nintendo is here 100 years from now. That's Furukawa's baby. The third one that Andre was luring to was the retail price. The retail price in Canada of $400 Canadian. Which
I wasn't even talking about that.
Okay, so maybe
I wasn't even talking.
Oh, the 3D Mario one.
So the three things I was referring to. So I want to make sure I understand it.
Yeah.
No. Like that's a whole other thing. I didn't. So I'm sorry for the three things I was referring to was specifically the January 17th reveal date. I think that is unlikely because it's a Friday, right?
Yeah.
The March 3rd release date, right? That's unlikely because that's on a Monday. But also, it's extremely unlikely the third claim of there being that quick of a turnaround from the January 17th to March 3rd. That's not even 2 months.
It's not. It's like a month and a half.
The Switch one was revealed October 20th, and it came out March 3rd. That was a 4.5 month window.
6 months.
And I could see them. Like honestly, I think they could do a shorter turnaround than 4.5 months. No, from October 20th, it's 4.5 weeks. About 4 months and 2 weeks is March 3rd. They could do something less than that. I think they could. We've been trending in that direction, but 2 months is like already in
month and a half.
This is suggesting less than 2 months. Like,
can we all agree?
Yeah, and I hear about. Anyways, there's other things that are why about the rumor.
Yeah, can we all agree that everybody's wallet's ready for this? Like,
as
soon as they announce that, it's like the turnaround window could be shorter.
Is my wallet ready?
Not my wallet. My body is ready.
I need to get it ready.
Okay, now what is now? Hold on. Now,
the
Andres,
other part.
Hold on. I know Andre, so I know you're not here every week, but what did Auntie Joycey tell everybody in the chat? I told y'all to get your money ready last year.
Oh yeah, she did. That's
you
true.
should have a stack of Switch 2 money.
Save up.
Except Andres because he says.
$10 a week is
beautiful.
Ready.
10 months.
A wallet is ready. I'm telling you.
That's right, Paul.
Listen. So this is not the only thing that this leaker mentions. Okay, not only January 17th. Not only are they stating that that Mario Kart 9 is going to be the launch title, and then a trailer for the new 3D Mario game, but they also mentioned Red Dead Redemption 2 within the information, and the retail price of $400 Canadian, which makes it $277 America.
In America.
In no way.
Really?
Yes.
What?
I think the game stuff is believable though.
Well, I think Lily can attest to it. Canada's game prices are insane compared to ours.
They are.
Like absolutely insane. So
Like
the
I pay
fact
like
that-
90 something, 93 Canadian dollars for a game. That's
Yeah.
with taxes, and
Yeah.
and that's because I'm in Ontario, which is actually the tax.
Yeah, so if they're
Mhm.
playing, if she's paying a lot more in Canada for a game, like I said, that's why I looked up. Okay, what's $400? In import fees or whatever from United States to Canada, whatever. But not United States, Japan. Then it'll be $277 in United States, depending on what other things have been sold. I'm like, okay, that's gonna,
Yeah.
weird. I can see
Maybe a
Nintendo.
price drop for Switch OLED after
Yeah.
the announcement.
Exactly.
But
There's,
believe
there's
it or
no
not-
way that
Listen,
new Switch in Canada would be less than like 500 Canadian.
yeah,
I feel
for
like.
real.
Everything's so overpriced right now in the gaming
But-
space.
I can see Nintendo literally just kind of, I don't know, like throwing a bomb out there and making the new Switch $299,
Oh,
and
no.
then bringing down the Switch OLED and the Switch Lite. I think that the base model is going to be discontinued and just kicked out. But the Switch OLED and Switch Lite continue to sell, both because of the screen, of course, and the portability of the Lite. And I've always said Nintendo will not give you a $500 system ever. Even the Switch OLED 2 will be maybe $449 when it comes out. Right, so my price point has always been $399 for the base model, and then $449 for the OLED model once it comes out. And if they do a Lite, it's a $299 system. But what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think? Okay, first thing, January 17, Mario Kart 9, Red Dead Redemption 2. I heard something about that earlier today also, and then the trailer for a 3D Mario. What do you think, Paul? What do you think?
I like the price of $400. That's my personal thought. I think it gives them a good strategy of lowering OLED to 300, so there's a good price difference, lowering base Switch to 250 and lowering DS Lite to 170. So they get kind of respective drops. I think 150 is too dramatic. I can see Nintendo going there, but 170 would be a nice soft one, especially if you look at the percentage. 170 is closer, 200, like 250 is appropriately to 300 and stuff. But I like the price of 400. Regarding all the big third-party games that are rumored at launch, well, I don't know what they will be, but I know that third parties will be showing up plentifully. I don't know the launch window, but just talking to third parties that are interested, I know who is on board, who has expressed interest or has developer kits and has general promise for the system and a positive outlook. And I've shared that publicly, but to elaborate more, I'm not worried about third parties at launch. And I think it'll be a bigger impact because Wii U, to be fair, had a good third party launch, but a lot of the games were kind of too old. So they were less impactful. Like, that's awesome, but I've had that for 3 years. I think these games on Nintendo Switch 2 will be more up to snuff of what's current gen. We're getting 2024, 2025 games on the system. And regarding Mario, like, that is probably something that I'm the most excited about. Is I want to see that next Mario trailer. I want to see the next game. I mean, it's one of my top 3 favorite franchises, period. And especially after the Mario movie, seeing how much more expressive it could be visually. And I loved Odyssey. It's probably my favorite Mario game at this point. I'm ready for that. So I would love Mario at launch. I would love a new 3D Mario at launch. But if it's not Mario and that's saved for later and it's launching with Mario Kart 9, that's also another very strong candidate for launch game because you've got 65 million people that are ready for a successor that want it. Although you think about it, only 17 million people are going to be able to buy a Nintendo Switch 2 in its first 12 months anyways. So maybe you don't release your biggest, strongest gun too quick. Maybe you do wait till more people are able to buy it.
Or what some people will do is they'll buy the game and wait until they can get hands on the system. There were people that talked about it, and a couple people that I knew personally that I'm like, oh, are you going to play Breath of the Wild on your Wii U? No, I don't have a Wii U. I'm just waiting for a Switch to become available.
Mhm.
Some
Mhm.
people do it like that. Real quick, I was just gonna say that I think I know what the rumors say, but if I was a betting woman, I would say 3D Mario. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, but Odyssey for me was such a great game. So I can't see them like Mario Kart, great, but people are still playing Mario Kart. Where's
Mhm.
3D? Where's my 3D Mario?
I want it.
Where is it? Go find it for me. I expect this, Nintendo. Darn it.
And that's like
I-
one
I-
of the most, one
I'll
of
be
my
right
most
back, guys.
heartfelt
Good pairing.
Nintendo's.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Huh?
Hey, Zach, go ahead. Here.
Go ahead, Zach.
I was just saying 3D Mario also has one of my most I think it's just like one of the most pure Nintendo stories, which was Mario Odyssey, when they first had the demo, not for us, but for Iwata. They gave him the Mario Odyssey demo, and he talks about how all he did for, like, they were trying to get him to play the objective, but he just loved that Mario could somersault and roll like that. And all he was doing was just shaking the Joy-Con, just rolling everywhere, and they couldn't get him to he did that for like 30 minutes before he actually started playing the game the way that they were trying to get him to.
So he was excited about the mechanics. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and so like
That's
that's just
awesome.
that's one of my all-time favorite Nintendo stories. It's just so pure to the mindset of how Nintendo makes games that are fun to play regardless of what you're doing in it. And so yeah, 3D Mario would be pretty dope.
Yeah, man, I agree. I agree. It's something that I remember hearing in an interview with Shintaro Furukawa. He says they make games to be fun, right? They focus on how fun the mechanics are to play and how, rather than the story is important, but the mechanics, what the character can do that can make the game the player excited. That's what they focus on, right? And then just thinking about that story you just told, Zach, about Iwata. It was a creative. That guy was just, he loved Nintendo, and I'm pretty sure that at that moment he just felt like a kid again, kind of just doing that with that controller. So really, really good story. Thank you for sharing that.
Mhm. And
What
also,
Mario game was
this
it
is
that he did that with?
Mario Odyssey.
Mario
Yeah,
Odyssey.
like in the early development of it.
Okay. Oh, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I was just thinking about, because Iwata passed away in 2015, so this is like
Yeah.
in the thick of development.
Yeah.
And so that's
Oh,
that's
be
one
cool.
of my all-time favorite stories.
That's so cool.
Also, I just sent to our chat a link. I was going to talk about this when we were talking about Denki, but it's not really worth talking about now. But just in case you want to display it in the background, Mike, On Leaks is a leaker who leaked the Google Pixel phone, like actual real renders of them, not just ones from the CAD models people gave. Like he gets his hands on different models. He has leaked some Nintendo Switch 2 stuff that doesn't have a case on it, like this one.
I'm gonna choose not to show it,
Okay.
just for
Can I look at it?
yeah,
Okay,
just
send it
for,
back.
just because I think this is good enough, or that doesn't ruin. I mean, the surprise.
Okay,
doesn't
I
ruin
saw
it.
this. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I
it's
think
been out there.
yeah, and this right here literally shows everything. We see the kickstand, we see that brown thing in the back that people are pointing to and think that that's like a magnetic attachment that will add more memory to your system. I think it's an Apple wireless attachment for the MagSafe thing. It looks like a MagSafe attachment. There's a lot, but I think this render right here is enough. What people are more interested in is turning the system on to see how it looks like. What's the UI? Does it have music? Is it customizable? I know there's a lot of information out there that points to it's a combination of the Nintendo 3DS and what the Wii U, something like that. With music on it. We don't know. Everything is a rumor until we get to see it. Hopefully Nintendo goes that far. But Lily, I want to hear from you. I mean, what do you think? What do you think? What are your thoughts of the Switch, of what you're seeing on screen?
I feel like I'll be echoing a lot of the things that everybody has been mentioning. I mean, if this is the official thing, let's imagine let's suppose that's the case.
Can you imagine if it was not?
Yeah, because it's gonna be hilarious if Nintendo announces something totally different. And it's just gonna
Right.
be like in your face. Everybody was this
For real.
wasting time on, you know,
Not a
that's
hybrid.
gonna be hilarious. Yeah, that's gonna be hilarious if that happens. But you know, I feel like Nintendo has been paying attention to a lot of the feedback that they received from the console, and I think that it has been proven to be a very successful console. And it has a lot of potential. The only thing that they really want, I believe, and I can't believe that I'm saying this because I'm not a pro into, you know, graphics and, you know, let's say frame rates and all that kind of stuff. But because that's not really what drives me more, like it's more like the experience and the, you know, the whole immersiveness of all the games Nintendo and all the big IPs from Nintendo, how it makes me feel when I play the games. But they're kind of falling a little bit behind, let's be honest. And I feel like it's very important for them to focus a little bit more into that. And of course, I'm not very impatient, but most of us are right now because, but it also makes me wonder why is it like this? Like, give us something. Give us something. Throw us a bone here, please. Something. But I don't know. It's just it's giving me a little bit of anxiety, and that's what I'm trying to go for. But everything that we have been seeing is for the better, and I do feel that there is an improvement on the Joy-Cons just by looking at them. Of course, like it's gonna feel a little bit more ergonomic because they're not very good compared to other ones.
My
like
hands
if
are
I
going
play
numb holding it.
right, so ever since they released like the Pro controllers, that's my go-to. Like I've always
Ditto.
played with a Pro controller, right? So and
I've
also,
never used my Joy-Cons.
yeah, I don't either. Only when I'm playing multiplayer, like local co-op or whatever. That's when if no one wants to use the Joy-Con, I'll sacrifice. No worries, I'll do it. But honestly, that is, for me, that's the strongest suit if they do improve the Joy-Cons, especially the connection. Like we have seen that when you saw the patents and everything, and now we have this, which is very promising, but again, nothing is really official, so it's very hard to tell. It's gonna be very I really want to, probably we need to have a podcast. It's going to be like 4 or 5 hours long, just for us to talk about what was speculated versus what we really have.
Yes.
That's going to be hilarious. I'm going to love that.
Can
Once
I say
it's
something?
out,
real quick?
once it's out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Jesse.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, real quick, to piggyback on what you're saying, Lily. Some third-party developers must be okay with what Switch 2 is looking like, because the third-party developers are bursting at the seams to announce their own games on Switch 2.
For
There's
real?
there's already the rumor that Final Fantasy VII remake and Rebirth is coming to Switch 2. And Square Enix has been talking these past several weeks. Yeah, we totally want to support Nintendo in the future, like totally, because they can't say Switch 2, they can't say what it is. They just keep saying, yeah, we totally want to get our
They'd
game.
love to make money.
Yeah,
For real?
because this is all money making. That's all what it is. But for us, if also, guys, you got to remember, if we want that kind of power in a handheld, we'd have to pay a lot.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if their games were failing simply based off of graphics, they would have gave us better graphics forever ago. So in my opinion, Nintendo's like, we can upscale and do all the DLSS and the ABC and the 325 and all that other stuff. I don't know all the stuff. We can do all this stuff to make it at least look better. Case in point, what have I been playing lately? I've been playing Lollipop Chainsaw on my Switch. It is fun. It is cute. It is absolutely hilarious. Runs like absolute trash.
I wasn't expecting that.
Now let's compare that to Bayonetta. Everybody who see me every week, y'all know how I feel about Bayonetta.
Yeah.
She hates it, for those of you who don't know.
Despises it.
I love Bayonetta. That's my girl. If we can get a Bayonetta 4, even though Kamiya's not at Platinum no more, my prayers have been answered. But anyway, I've heard people say, oh, there's a couple frame dips and but compared to Lollipop Chainsaw, a much older game, Bayonetta basically runs almost like butter. almost. So,
Sorry, Tracy. Kevin just said lollipop trash saw.
All
I'm
He ain't
sorry, it was
lying.
hilarious.
right, and shout out to Clifford.
Shout out
Clifford
Clifford. I
favorite.
looked up the game on on the Xbox and everything, and I'm like, it doesn't look anything like this. Why does Bayonetta look so good? Why does Bayonetta actually move when I press a button?
Hilarious. So shout out to Clifford Favors, guys. If you notice, every super chat we do incorporate into the podcast, and then we also have a Q&A right at the end of the podcast where you can start bringing in your questions now. The cast will highlight your questions so we can answer them at the end. But if you want to be part of the podcast in the conversation, you can do a super chat just like Clifford. Not to get off topic, you're never off topic. I was wondering if there has been any updates about the Legend of Zelda movie since it's 2025 now. Well,
No.
the most recent information we got on the Legend of Zelda movie is that right now it is currently in production. It went from pre-production to production as of January 5th. Okay, so if you go to imdb.com, go to the Legend of Zelda live action movie, you'll find out updates there. They've updated that area with all the shooting locations. Gives you an idea, and it's fun. If you take all those shooting locations, Google them, just go on Google Images and look at all those locations. They really resemble Hyrule. Really, very awesome. So just this is a little fun activity for you to do. To keep it busy while we get information. But I do believe this year we will get information on some future Nintendo Direct about the Legend of Zelda live action movie because they're currently in production right now. I believe the cast is already out there. Nintendo's really very, very good at keeping that hidden because remember, when the Mario movie was announced, they already had a cast. They just told us after, you know? And so same thing with the Legend of Zelda live action movie. We wouldn't hear about it more this year. But as of late, that is the last thing we know. January 5th was the beginning of production for the movie.
Yep.
All right. And then we also have a super chat from, I'm not sure if this is the new one or
It's a new
from
one.
Demon Brawler, $5. Thank you so much for your super chat. I think they will make an announcement to tune in tomorrow on Tuesday, and the reveal will be in a short direct presentation on Wednesday, January 15th. That's a good prediction. I can see that happening.
Poor Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not necessarily disagreeing. By the way, I'm just saying poor Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Hey, I can agree with that. Not only that, let me throw a bone at you guys. What if the announcement is an announcement of the presentation? Not
okay.
Not that it's gonna be like, oh, here's the treats to know. We would like to announce that next month in February so and so, we will have a special presentation direct dedicated to information on the next generation, whatever, blah blah blah.
We'll have a date. I'm happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Furukawa he already said the president when in May he said, what did I say?
No.
Funny.
I'm sorry. It's just that I was imagining that tweet and then followed by another tweet saying there will be no announcements of the official successor in this presentation, and it was hilarious. I was like, okay, yeah, that's
No, wait,
that's
no.
gonna be-
The tweet will say, please, tune in for a Nintendo Direct. There will be mention of the Nintendo.
Oh yeah, there will be.
I know earlier I was thinking about when Joycey was like, we know it'll be announced by March 31st. And I was like, well, Nintendo didn't technically say March 31st. It's at the end of the fiscal year. I'm like, we get to March 31st. There's no announcement. Midnight hits. It's about to be April 1st. And all of a sudden it just says March 32nd. It's like,
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't really resist.
Because
yeah.
I kind of hope that Nintendo gets kind of cute with the leaks, and they're like, in case you're still interested, or something like, in case you, even though you've seen all the leaks, please come to our presentation.
But it's been Furukawa. It's been Furukawa and Twitter all along. Like he's the one who's been gonna. It's the famous "This is Furukawa" tweet when it's something. This is Furukawa. This and this. So I'm guessing this is Furukawa is going to come on next week and say, hey, next month we'll be having a special presentation because they've already announced a Nintendo Direct a month in advance. Remember, last year, and so they could do it again, but this time for the presentation. We'll be focusing on video games coming in the first or second half of the first half of 2025 or second half or whatever, and some information on Nintendo's next generation system. So that's something I can see them doing. You know what I mean? And just kind of trolling us, kind of making us wait some more because that's the craziness of it. All right, let's see here. We have another super chat.
Yes, we do. We have 2 more.
Woo!
Man,
Thank you guys for your generosity.
2025's hitting hard.
Yeah,
Damn hard, no, thank you so much.
it
$50.
is.
It will be
Also-
$449, $100 more than the OLED. I can see that. I can easily
Because
see
if
that.
we wanted that kind of power in a
In a
handheld,
console, yeah. Mhm.
in
Yeah.
a handheld, guys,
Oh,
we'd
right.
be paying like $600, $700, $800, and
Yeah.
Nintendo's
Yeah.
not about that.
I
Yeah.
also got to say props on that Crypt Keeper profile picture.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. Tales from the Crypt. I used to watch that when I was a kid. Yeah. So
I can't believe I'm scared of everything, but Tales of the Crypt I always found hilarious.
right when he gets up and
It's because he's fun. He's like, you know.
Yeah.
Joyce, did you read Goosebumps as a kid?
oh yeah,
I did not, but I did read Fear Street,
Okay.
and I read all of Fear Street when their name originally was FIER, and they
Yeah.
changed it to FEAR. Yeah, I was deep in it. We can
I
talk
watched-
about that.
I
Bob.
watched all the Nightmare on Elm Streets when I was like 8. So
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street had a series.
no, like all the movies, all the Freddy Krueger movies, and Jason. when I was like 7, 8, 9, 10, just watching, like, okay,
They
Slasher.
scared me as a kid. I was scared of the Thriller video. I told y'all that. I was scared
Yeah.
of it. Because the Thriller came out when I was like 3. And my
And-
dad had me watching that mess.
you want to read this one, JC?
Thank you for Thiago Balbino. I'm from Brazil. Nintendo, please don't bring this console for more than $400. If it's more expensive than that, it will cost an arm and a leg here.
Oh my god,
I
for
feel
real.
you. I feel
Yeah.
you.
Seriously.
Agree.
Who needs a kidney?
Who needs-
You have
Oh, they took
to.
my freaking
You-
kidney.
You can live off of only one of your kidneys.
No,
So
don't give
technically-
them ideas.
And most of your liver will grow back.
No.
Also, if
Well, how do
keep
you
at
think
least-
I
at
bought the
least a
first
third of it.
Switch?
Oh my
But
god,
you
this
only
is
have
turning
one
a little
kidney
bit dark
left.
now.
I get it. He's switching out his kidneys.
Takes
Now
about
it
8
makes-
years to regenerate, so we'll be fine.
Wait, okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you all for your super chats.
All
you guys.
right.
Thank you
Mhm.
very
You
much.
guys are so amazing. We
Speaking of
love y'all.
profile pictures, I liked that Edward Elric chibi profile picture you had, Tiago.
Beautiful.
The TV one?
Nice.
TBT one. All right, so moving along, we have our second topic of the podcast. This will go faster than the first topic. It's still Switch 2. Don't worry, guys. It's still Nintendo Switch 2. But this is called the prediction. The prediction for 2025. Now, what do you think Nintendo will do in 2025? We can go over each and every one of us and maybe has like 5 minutes to give our predictions. We're gonna talk about 5 minutes. Video games, accessories. What will be the surprise of the year, and then we'll give it over to Paul Gale Network to talk about numbers. So Paul can tell us what does he think Nintendo Switch 2 will sell in the first year, and the big question has been out there: will it outsell PlayStation 5 on year
Yeah.
one? That's
On
the
year
question.
one.
Oh, year
Year
one?
one.
No.
Year one. Yeah, because right now that's the question that's trending out there. There's 2 analysts. One says Nintendo will beat out PlayStation in year one, and the other one says no, PlayStation will beat out Nintendo. There's 2 different analysts that have 2 different opinions in there, and I want to get the analysts of analysts here when it comes to numbers. The Great Paul Gale Network to give us.
Before Paul answers that, I just want to clarify the question. Is it, will the Nintendo Switch 2 beat the
No.
PlayStation 5's first
in
year
sales
in its
in
first year?
Yeah, like for example, in
So
in
year
1
one
year.
versus year one.
No. Year one versus
Or do they mean 25 versus 2025 for both?
yeah,
systems?
within this year. Yeah,
Okay.
Within this
They're
year.
selling more
Yeah,
in
within
the
this
calendar year of 2025.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the calendar year for
There you go.
2025. Yeah. So, and then Paul Gale is going to give us his expertise, and he's going to just break the tie. He's going to break the tie of who do you think that is going to win? Well, Paul's going to say Nintendo. If he's not, he's going to be off the podcast.
PS5 has home court though, because it's already out.
The what?
It's selling consoles today.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what people were like. Wait a minute. How is it going to be if it's PS5 is already selling, and Switch is not even. We don't even know when it's coming out. So, what if it comes out in June or July or August?
Yeah, hope.
Ooh,
So Paul has it difficult here.
he's gonna
Let's
have
go
to
ahead.
give us the release date that it has to release by to win.
I have
Mhm.
I have an answer for this one, Josie and Lily. You guys want to hear it?
Huh? What's the question?
I have
Where
an
am I?
answer for Boo Mini super chat. Thank you, Boo Mini, for your $2 super chat.
Thank
And
you.
she went ahead and asked the question: what Zelda game will come out this year? And I got 2 games that I think will come out this year:
If you say
Uh-huh.
Wind Waker for Nintendo Switch, and a remaster of Twilight Princess for Nintendo Switch 2.
ooh,
I'm gonna add Breath of the Wild HD for Nintendo Switch 2.
I think that's pretty much a
What-
given.
what-
Yeah.
isn't it already in HD or whatever?
yeah, it's already in HD. I mean,
How much
HD
prettier do we want it to be?
HD.
HDR.
Yeah,
Oh,
HD.
HDR.
There you go.
Dear Nintendo, please just put HDR on all your remakes from now on.
I don't think
And give Andres the credit for that.
you know, I honestly don't think Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom is going to be relaunched as new game.
still
I
I
just
like what you put out there. I think it was you who put it out there the other day that there's going to
Yeah.
be like enhancement patches, right?
yeah, I think that's what that's what's going to happen. I mean, that's what I heard, but I think that's what's going to happen. That games for Nintendo Switch, specific games, those big sellers. Tears of the Kingdom just came out like what, a year ago, 2 years ago? Is it 2 years ago?
ago.
2 years
No,
ago.
a year? Yeah, 2 years ago. 2023, right?
Well,
Yeah.
It's
depends,
like
on,
a,
depends
it's
how
like
you
a
want to.
year and a couple months.
We're talking about
Yeah.
a year and a half.
Getting there.
Yeah.
So that game is still brand new. It's still new, right? And with Nintendo Switch 2 coming out now, that game is still barely taking off. That game is only going to get a patch and sent off. It's already $70. It's already $70, right? Nintendo Switch on Breath of the Wild will also get a patch and be sold at the same price. You know, I don't think it's gonna be sold at $70. I think it's gonna be sold same price. And Nintendo might. This is my personal opinion. Might issue those patches on certain games, certain major big games, not all the games. I think the majority or all the games are going to benefit from the AI upscale that the system's going to do automatically. Like what the with DLSS and all the because the game will look better on Switch 2, but that's AI. The patches for to take advantage of the hardware is what Nintendo's working on for those specific kind of games. And you look like you disagree, Andre. What's up? Yeah, but
I do disagree, but I mean, I agree a little bit. I don't think that that the Switch 2 is gonna just wide scale improve Switch. It might, but like to take advantage of DLSS, they would have to like program that stuff in
the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Agreed.
I mean, if there is like a system wide like subtle improvement feature, I mean, maybe it's not impossible.
Yeah.
But I do definitely like I side with you in terms of like there's gonna be some key titles that are gonna get like the 4K 60 FPS pack.
Yeah.
And I mean, you think about some games that are coming out this year, Pokemon Legends ZA, Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Games like these, on top of some key prior titles like Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Smash Ultimate, these games would make sense. And maybe they don't all happen at once, right? It might be kind of like the NSO thing where every few months we're like, oh, there's a new NSO game. That's still going to happen. But there's also going to be, there's a new 4K enhancement. And so there'll be little things like that.
Yeah.
By the way, I intentionally did not mention Metro Prime 4 because I think that game's literally getting its own dedicated Switch 2 version.
For sure.
It's gonna be more than just a 4K upscale. It's gonna get like other stuff. That's my theory.
I agree.
Okay. Oh, go for it, Lily. Sorry.
Very quickly, I just wanted to add that I think there is a small possibility that Nintendo will definitely use Breath of the Wild's success to promote for those people out there that are going to be brand new Nintendo users. Like everybody that does not own a Nintendo Switch, they'll probably most likely be like, you know what, I feel like I really want to take advantage of, or Breath of the Wild has been on my bucket list. Now is the time for me to play it. And also in terms of, again, I'm not a graphics person. I don't really care about the graphics. And the only reason why I don't look at all those, emulators that can show
Yeah.
you 60 frames per second is because I don't want to go that route, because I don't want to feel that Nintendo is not really living to its potential, because I love the way it is. However, it will be amazing to have that. Like Joyce just mentioned, like how would it be possible to play it better? Yes, the answer is yes. It is possible. I haven't seen that, but I know it's out there. I know that that would be amazing for people who really like, like the whole frame rate experience. And I don't know, they can promote it as, game of the year. Of course, Breath of the Wild won game of the year. So
relive
I feel there's
the
potential.
magic.
Right, something like that
edition.
for people.
Force
Yeah.
Time edition.
However, Paul being the numbers god here, he'll probably say, well, didn't Nintendo already sold a lot of Breath of the Wild's copies already? Can they sell more?
Yeah.
Well, we will find out if that is the case, right?
I mean,
So,
we gonna buy it, but
yeah.
I'll buy it again.
yeah, we'll buy it, but will the general
Yeah.
masses buy it?
I
I
feel
just
like
have-
Breath of the
Listen,
Wild has potential. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I
To
would answer this question,
respond real quick to Andre's I wasn't talking about DLSS. I was talking about AI upskilling from Nintendo
Mhm,
directly.
mhm.
Like the patent actually mentions
Oh,
that.
okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
then, maybe that's possible.
Yeah, the patent actually mentions about developers not having to go back and update their games because the software, the AI, will actually take the pixels, break them down, and then add more pixels to generate more to kind of
Mm.
bring up the resolution. And so
AI loading.
pretty cool, right?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that on the Wii U, technically, when you play Wii games on the Wii U, there was an upscale. It sucked,
Yeah.
but it was technically kind of enhancing it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, maybe there's like a better, nicer
Better,
version of that. And if I'm not mistaken, I feel like this is something that's been done before. I'm not much of a Sony Xbox player, but I feel like we've seen at least PlayStation like do this to some of their, I don't know.
PSSR.
No. Like I'm not talking about like PS2 games playing on PS3. Like if I'm not mistaken, I feel like PS3 games would like upscale them to 1080. It would be an upscale, not a native, right? So it would be different, but it would still be like, hey, this looks better on a bigger screen television kind of thing.
But better.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
Or,
Right.
I mean, you look at all the NSO games, right? Like those are at 1080p. They look a lot cleaner than their initial versions.
Yeah, Jesse, you have something to say?
I want to answer this question. Because anything Zelda is my jam. So my opinion is, I still think it's too early for Breath of the Wild. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it like in the presentation saying this is the way it used to look and this is the way it looks on Switch too. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. But as far as actual release, I think Breath of the Wild is a little bit more down the line. I think they eventually are going to redo it because they can make money that way.
Yeah.
But if they really want to get people real juiced up, they're either going to drop Wind Waker, which is already pretty. The HD version is prettier. It's prettier. I don't know what else they could do to it to make the colors pop more or whatever, but I guess we'll find out. I think we can finally say this could be the year of either Wind Waker or a completely remade Twilight Princess. The reason I believe that is not because it's a rumor or anything like that. It's because I think they could make money off of it.
Oh yeah.
Because for the simple fact that Zelda will sell, and just remaking those old games and putting them out there, I think they're the only couple of games that haven't been brought over to Switch from Wii U. Am I right? Wrong? A little bit.
I think you're right. Can't think of it.
two.
Well, there's also Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah.
Okay. I think those are
World.
due for remakes. But as far as a new system coming out the gate, they're going to pick one of their 3D games. And the ones that I could think of are Twilight Princess or Wind Waker. The other one, the kind of forgotten rumor, is Ocarina of Time remake.
Yeah.
I don't know what they could do to make that game any more prettier either, because I thought it looked great on the 3DS, and I kind of appreciate the way it looked on the N64. Or my strongest bet is another Hyrule Warriors or some kind of Zelda spinoff. Something Zelda, though, is going to come, I believe, within.
They promise one per year.
Yeah.
They missed the year.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
With Ocarina of Time remake, I don't think they're gonna. They're not going to just take the same exact model. They're gonna remake everything from
The
scratch.
whole thing.
Yeah, from
Does
the
it
bottom.
need it?
Yeah, but that's the thing that in order
There's
to
so
be
much
a
stuff they
remake,
left out.
yeah, in order to
Oh.
be in order to be a remake, let's think about remakes here. Think about the remake from Mario RPG
There you
on
go. Good
Super
point.
Nintendo to Mario RPG now, right? They're not the same. You know, we have to, they're gonna change everything from the ground up. They're probably gonna add more content to it. They're going to Final Fantasy remake it in a way. You know what I mean?
Maybe
So-
the best comp would be Resident Evil 4 remake.
Yeah.
Because Resident Evil 4 remake is still mostly the same game, but it has
Yeah.
new gameplay segments and it's visually
Yeah.
totally overhauled and the gameplay is enhanced. Because
Mhm.
7 remake, there's like a new story there. Like
The
that's
whole thing. Yeah,
that's-
I agree.
I mean, it's
yeah.
the same story. It just goes in deeper into the story because when I play Final Fantasy VII, and the story is very quick. It's 4 CDs, but actually it's 3, but it's very quick, right? And so this one, it's the same story. They just went and stretched it out as much as they could, and they took each CD or something like that, make it into a game, and then added more elements, but. In the overall thing, it's still the same exact story.
I had heard that people that die don't die and vice versa or something,
Yeah.
but I don't.
Yeah, no,
I
there's
don't.
some actual changes. That, like,
Yeah, there are, but you know, I mean, I think people.
Like, listen, man, Sheik's got to die at the end of it. I'm just kidding. Although I will say, right, like, you know, Ocarina of Time is a game that's famous for splitting the timeline into 3. If they
Yeah.
threw in a nugget there to kind of speak to that, that would be cool,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Another thing, there is, if they do add some elements to sort of maybe like show lore connections between Ocarina of Time and Breath and Tears, that would also be interesting. Like if there's a
I
Breath
agree.
to Zonai, for example. Nothing crazy, but just, you know, something. Give us a little
Mhm.
nugget.
Mhm.
I'd love
Yeah.
that.
Dear
Well-
Nintendo, I have already figured out the timeline. I can tell you in 3 sentences. Holla at me.
I
But I haven't
will
explained
add
it
to
in-
that.
I had to explain it in my own script, so
I will add to that, to what Andre said about having it, you know, be different because there were 3. That's where the timelines came from, so to speak.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I've been under the assumption for a long time that this Zelda movie is going to be 90% Ocarina of Time. And
Nope.
just be a different timeline because
Disagree.
that is like the kind of
would be nice.
staple Zelda. You know that you'll
Mike,
have
you have
Sheik,
to
you'll have
understand from
Zelda,
our point of view.
and
Nope.
so
I do understand it, but no, I disagree.
But yeah,
It would be
so-
a new story, though. That's
You know
the
why?
thing.
You know why I disagree?
Well,
Bring
I'm gonna
to
finish
the
my
Link-
thought
Link
first.
makes a lot of
But
sense.
so
Wait, wait,
what
wait.
I think would
Yeah,
be
he's gotta
very
finish.
cool would
Yeah.
be if we had your idea, Andres, of a completely different Ocarina of Time, and then we had a movie Ocarina of Time, which is obviously different because it's a movie and it's going to go different directions and set up a cinematic universe. And then we're able to look at the original Ocarina of Time, and it's like, here's 3 different timeline shifting versions of the same story. I just think that would be cool.
That would
Yeah,
be
I mean,
wild.
it would be
That's a
awesome. Yeah,
possibility.
That'd be very
I
cool.
think it would be awesome once they get to that point, right? But I think that the movie will just be a very generic Zelda movie that explains the lore and the story in the most basic way for a person who has never ever experienced the Legend of Zelda before. You know?
So you mean
So-
you're thinking of them doing it like the Marvel way, where they have the basic introduction, the second one is
Yeah, yeah.
the big
They-
conflict, the
they
third one's
confirmed-
the resolution.
They confirmed multiple movies. He said this is multiple movies. It's not just one movie. So it's gonna be the first movie is gonna be a movie that if I've never heard of Link or Zelda, or I'm the guy that say, hey, I thought Zelda was the guy. You know what I mean? You know, I'm going to go into the movie. By the end of it, I'm going to understand. Okay, this is, you know, that's the movie they're gonna. They have to. They made it clear that this is. They want to introduce Zelda to a brand new generation, a new audience. The not the gamer, the moviegoer, right? And then they want the moviegoer to come over to the gaming world and experience the rest of the Legend of Zelda, and then
Right.
go deeper into the lore. So if you present that much lore, it might get complicated and it might scare people away. Like,
All right, brain blast. Okay,
Brain blast.
so hear me out. I love what you're kind of spitting right now. And by the way, Zach, I think at least similar archetypes, themes from Ocarina of Time will at least bleed into it. Maybe not exactly the same, but people who play Ocarina of Time will be like,
No,
oh, I remember
Yeah.
that from the
Yeah.
movie and vice versa,
Yeah.
right? At least
You're-
to that extent,
Exactly.
I think there'll be that. But to Mike's idea of them kind of like starting a generation of Zelda, like you got me thinking, not Lord of the Rings, not Hobbit, but Harry Potter. 8 movies spanning a whole generation of people, right? So maybe like we even start off with like a young Link, right? But they do this with a design in mind where he's literally going to go through puberty as they film these movies. And by the time we get to the
That
end,
makes sense.
he's gonna be a man.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe he's not 12 when maybe he's 15, so he's already like close to being a man when it starts. But you get my point. Like there's gonna be a physical
Mhm.
development throughout this 7 to 8 year series.
Mhm.
And every movie is just focused on maybe one dungeon. But that one dungeon, there's a whole story around it. Obviously, there's still other surrounding parts, but they just actually take the time to invest in that story. Like think about when we go and play Breath and Tears, right? Or even Echoes, like the way they kind of structure the Zelda games now. When you go, I mean, it's still like that in prior games too, but when you go to a particular area, there's a storyline just there. So imagine a movie that expands on the story for a particular region, and that still connects to the overarching story, is right. But I could see them doing something like that, and I mean, hell, if it becomes the next Harry Potter, that would be insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll drop one.
I like
more,
that idea.
One more controversial opinion. Not just because I guess that's what I'm doing today. Not just do I think we're gonna get Breath of the Wild remaster as its own game. I think it's gonna be a Switch 2 launch title.
Oh,
I like how the
Wait,
music
say it again?
stopped. The
I know
music
that was
stopped.
perfect. The music just like
And
Oh,
the
the
music,
podcast itself said what?
the music is automatic, right? It didn't agree.
no, I mean, adding to that, let's not go that far. Like the Mario movie. The Mario movie
It always
was
goes back to Zelda.
no,
Mario-
yeah, it does. But what
I
I'm
love
trying to
this
say is,
show.
it's what I'm trying to say is that the Super Mario movie was, nothing compared to what we have seen in the games. And like, having a big IP like The Legend of Zelda is going to be very complex and very complicated, just to come up with the, the whole idea. And I feel like I agree with Mike in terms of they have to make it simple. And there's going to be a possibility that the Triforce is not even going to be present in the story at all, because it's not even present in Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
don't think it's
going
gonna
to be
awaken until the very end.
right, because people don't know what the Triforce is if they
Yeah.
have never played the other games, right? So I feel like they have to be very careful with that. And also, circling back to the Zelda title, I feel like Twilight Princess has a lot of potential, because given the fact that a lot of people started playing with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, Echoes of Wisdom. Tears of the Kingdom, that's a new one. Well, Tears of the Kingdom, no. Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess is more realistic in terms of graphics. So I feel that people are going to be leaning more and excited for that if that happens versus
Facts.
Ocarina of Time, right? So I feel like that's a great opportunity for Nintendo if they do, especially with Twilight Princess, because Twilight Princess, when they first released, it wasn't that, it wasn't the big of a deal. Then afterwards, people started like, oh, it's the best game ever, and the best story, the best version of Ocarina of Time. So they can definitely do something with that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Real quick, I got a
See,
counterpoint.
you guys like got us talking about Zelda because we won't stop. It's going to continue.
Yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say one more thing. I think-
Paul's like,
ahead.
I'm just crunching my
Go ahead,
numbers.
go ahead.
30
Zelda.
seconds, Josie.
I
I
said,
have normal thoughts and number thoughts.
Real quick. So just to counterpoint with what Lily was saying, because I don't disagree with her, but when I think of the movie, and as far as overall marketing for the Zelda movie, the game that everybody knows, whether you played it or not, but just about everybody knows, is Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
And y'all know I love A Link to the Past, and I'm always gonna love that game. But people are kind of like, what? What's that? If I say Ocarina, my mom knows what Ocarina of Time is, and it's not from me. Okay, she just knows that's that Nintendo game with the sword, right? Yeah, mama. Okay. So
listen, I'm gonna end it with this.
That's the reason why I
Look,
think
I'm gonna end it with this because we got after this. I'll give it over to Paul. Paul has something to say, and then then after that we can get over to the Q&A. But I'm gonna
and
end
we
it
never
with
got to our last topic.
yeah, we did. That was it.
No, we didn't.
No,
You
we
didn't?
did.
Our topic was what were our thoughts on
Good
2025?
predictions.
Oh, okay. We can do that. We got time for that. So
All
This is what the
here's
movie's
my
gonna
thoughts.
be.
Metroid Prime 4 is
This
gonna be game
is-
of the year. 3D Mario is gonna be second. Everything else is gonna be good.
Right, there you go. Listen, this is what's gonna happen with the Mario with the Mario movie, with the Legend of Zelda movie. We're gonna have two characters that are gonna feel like they're meeting each other for the first time, right? Link and Zelda. They're gonna learn within the movie about the Triforce, about the fact that they themselves are chosen ones, and there have been others before them. Okay, but then it's gonna the story's gonna start from then moving forward, right? Once it moves forward, people are gonna be like, can we learn about the ones that were before them? Can we do a prequel to Legend of Zelda and then go back in time and learn from the other incarnations of them? Because it's only going to follow that Link and that Zelda. It's not going to go on to multiple timelines. It's just going to follow that one Link, that Zelda. I agree with I think Andre said it, that maybe they'll just do the Gerudo Desert for one entire movie and then get that dungeon out of the way, and then like move over, travel to the Fellowship of the Rings to the other other
That's
dungeon.
probably gonna bore people because it's kind of been there, done that.
Yeah, but
We got to
it's-
keep the story moving.
yeah.
that's
So
what
I mean,
it is.
that's the last thing I want to say on Zelda. I think it's going to be like it's a beginner movie for those who needs to get into the franchise, and it's going to kind of
Eventually, y'all, we are gonna have an all Zelda podcast.
we are
Again,
We
we had
will,
like
we
five.
will.
We had like 5.
Way
this year.
overdue.
We'll have
The
a few
minute-
this year.
the minute they announced the cast for that movie. That next podcast, get ready, because we're gonna break it down.
Yeah.
We're gonna break it down.
Yeah.
I
for
mean,
sure.
Zelda's gonna be a big deal in 2026. So when I show up again to start the next season,
There you go.
There you go.
we'll have a lot of Zelda to talk about.
Yeah, for real.
Andre,
All
you're my friend. You have to come back earlier than that.
Let's
You said
let's
we
start-
were friends.
Hopefully, I can come sooner than that. But
Yeah. Let's start the last topic with Paul. Paul, give me your top 3 game predictions for Nintendo Switch 2 2025. One surprise. So this is 3 games. 3 games. One surprise from Nintendo. Okay, where are my notes? My notes. One surprise. Okay, and then one sale. Like the sales. How much you think the Nintendo Switch 2 will sell in its first year?
The 3 games that I think will be on Nintendo Switch,
Yeah, at
one
launch.
of them being a surprise.
Yep.
That's the first part. New big 3D Mario.
Yes.
More than just an up-resed Metroid Prime 4, which I think some games will just be DLSS improved, and some games will be actually built as in a couple of different SKUs.
Mhm.
So a Metroid Prime 4 exclusive Nintendo Switch 2 build, a brand new 3D Mario Adventure, and then my optimistic surprise is a new Star Fox. I just want that to be a new pillar for Nintendo to take the action adventure flight sci-fi genre
Go better roll.
do something amazing with it, and new Star Fox is my true hope. I think we're going to get a new Donkey Kong this gen. I'm
Yeah.
not 100%
Whoa. 3D or
confirmed that we're
2D?
going to get a new Star Fox. Donkey Kong, I think we're going to get. Star Fox, I don't know. Well, Donkey Kong, I almost know. It's got to be with the
Paul, is
movie
it
and all that
3D or
stuff, and
2D?
Seth Rogen and
I don't know, man. I'm not sure it's a 2D Donkey Kong game coming out next week. It seems kind of sus.
Is that listen, okay, this is a dumb question because I don't know a lot about Star Fox. I call it Firefox, okay?
The web
That's
browser.
a web browser.
I mess up and
Browser
call
the
it that.
game.
I know. Is that okay? Look, I know you guys are laughing at me. Is that called an X-wing?
Close. It's called an R-wing. ARWING.
Is it a play on X-wing? Is it like a play on X-wing? They call it an R-wing because it also like sounds like a letter. Like,
Probably. Star Fox references a few things, so that I'm not sure, but maybe
and the follow-up
Is it a
question
box made out of a
is
star?
there a Lego special edition of that?
there probably should be.
'Cause that looks like we need one.
I'll tell you what. The moment they announce one, we know a new Star Fox game is around the corner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We're getting
does
a
the
Game
new
Boy
Game
Lego.
Boy Lego hint us something?
It hints
We're
that
getting a Game
Nintendo
Boy Mini.
Lego making a lot of money. That's what it
It would
hints
be
at.
really cool
real.
Oh yeah, believe me, they made a lot of money with this baby. So
Yeah.
That's one I really want. The Lego Game Boy. That's one. Okay, I need to have that one.
Yeah.
For real,
It'd
for
be
real.
really
Paul was going to
cool
say
if,
something, y'all.
Okay, Paul.
if the Lego Game Boy could either be an NSO Game Boy player or something that takes original Game Boy cartridges, that would be pretty dope. And then that would just be a continuation in sales to the Game Boy line of this, 100 million selling platform to
Like
continue.
PlayStation. Yeah.
But the other question, I had a little Zelda thought. Maybe I'll throw that one in fast. But the other question was the sales talk.
Mhm.
Depending on when Nintendo Switch 2 comes out, the later in the year, if you're talking about calendar year of 2025, it won't have enough months and enough opportunities to produce enough to compete with PlayStation 5 in 12 months of sales. Even though PS5 is on its decline saga, kind of like Nintendo Switch was technically, 2021 was a decline from its peak in 2020. PS4 is on a decline. 2025 is going to be less than 4. PS5 will still manage to sell probably like 18 million this year, because I'm expecting it to be around 90 million by January 1st, 2026. I'm thinking of 90 million. So 18 million if Nintendo Switch 2 comes out in June. Nintendo's not going to be able to make more than that. If you're looking at the next 12 months aligned from, let's say, Nintendo Switch comes out June 27th, and you're looking at that June 27th through June 27th of 2026, yes, that 12-month period, Nintendo Switch will beat PS5, because I'm expecting as high as 22.5 million Nintendo Switch 2 systems basically made and sold. And that is pretty ambitious, because Nintendo Switch only had around 15 million in its first 12 months. But then again, its 12 months was sort of weird because it started off on March 3rd. So you can't go until December 31st, but technically going to March 31st is a little bit longer. It's a one year and 28 days. Is that big of a deal? No, but it is technically longer than a year. But I think that Nintendo Switch 2 is going to come out heavier with a bigger front-loaded volume to satisfy a bigger audience that they created over the last 8 years, and knowing that the demand is going to be higher for Nintendo Switch 2 than it was for Switch based off of Wii U, based off of now Switch. So I'm expecting as much as 22.5 million, but that is on the higher end. I don't think it's going to be more. I think it could be less, like 18. But I'm going with PS5 for the rest of the year, Nintendo Switch for the first 12 months aligned. And if you want to get a little bit more fair, the first 12 months of Nintendo Switch 2 versus retroactively PS5's first 12 months back in November 20 through November 21, Nintendo Switch 2 will also beat that metric. I wanted to say one little thing, because earlier when everyone was talking, I was just like formulating my thoughts and I didn't want to interrupt. But
yeah, go ahead.
A little thing, I can make it quick, hopefully. I think the likelihood of a big grand Zelda at launch is lower if we're going to have a big grand Mario at launch, because you don't throw Mario and Zelda together on day one. You don't throw Mario Metroid on Zelda on day one. That's like, having your new 2 big movies from the same studio coming out the same weekend. Like if Fox is going to have a Terminator and a Predator, you wouldn't release them the same weekend. They're too comparable, even though one's jungle and one's robots. It doesn't matter. They're going to eat away at each other's sales. You spread them apart. So if there's something Zelda in 2025, I could see it being something small Zelda related at launch or earlier, like a port or a remaster or something like that. Anything too big, like an Ocarina of Time remake, that's got to be pushed later in the year. But nothing big Zelda at launch, if we're expecting something big Mario at launch. So I kind of wanted to get that out of the way. And the last thing is, I'm of the mindset that if Metroid Prime 4 has a secondary mode, which is this online multiplayer mode that is kind of like a T-rated Splatoon, set in Metroid universe. I think the other launch game would be a new 3D Mario. If Metroid is only a solo player adventure, I could see the other Nintendo Switch 2 launch game being Mario Kart. And that's because Nintendo wouldn't want to have two simultaneous multiplayer offerings at once, because then it kind of competes with each other. More people are going to play Mario Kart for their multiplayer needs, and then Metroid Prime's multiplayer offerings are going to be not played as much because more people's multiplayer is going over here. Mario Kart's going to win. But if you have a 3D Mario game and a Metroid game, two single-player stories, but Metroid's got the the multiplayer, that allows that multiplayer game to shine without Mario Kart. You know what I mean? But if Metroid is distinctly only a single-player adventure, I think Mario Kart is more likely than a 3D Mario because they could both coexist more. And that's kind of the same mentality that I had with Zelda. You don't have Ocarina of Time Remake on day one if Metroid Prime is day one for a 3D Mario. You know what I mean? It's powerful of a game to have. A remaster or something like that, a Wind Waker, I don't think Wind Waker is going to be a launch, but something like that closer I could see. Too big of a Zelda? No. So I think that was it. My numbers, my expectations of Nintendo Switch games, a little bit of a surprise, and some analysis on launch games maybe.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I like it. Thank you for the number. I mean, you're the only one with the numbers, but you did a good job on that. Thank you so much for that.
I missed it getting my cap. How much is Switch 2 selling?
21.5 million in a year calendar. So if it launches in May, then
June 2025 to
June 2026. Yeah,
no more than 22.5.
Yeah,
I don't think they can make more than that.
Yeah, and it's because it's as much as they can make produce.
That'd be pretty good. That'd be about pacing Switch, so that would be pretty good.
That's awesome. All right, Zach, you wanna go ahead and let's see here. The three questions were 3 games launching on Nintendo Switch in the first calendar year. Could be the launch title, could be in the first calendar year. 3 games. Your surprise. Where's my
surprise of the year and sales?
Yeah, surprise of the year. And no, the sales was just for Paul.
Oh, okay.
Unless you wanna chip in the sales too, you can.
Accessories.
Make this easy. Sales. What Paul said.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
The only way it ends up more than what Paul said is if it was actually supposed to launch like forever ago, so they have like more than they should. But that would be like the best thing ever. So no, what Paul said obviously for sales. Video games, I am going with Diddy Kong. I can't, not this year, unfortunately. They're not going to put it against Mario Kart 9.
I mean, it could be
26 Diddy Kong Racing for the Switch.
It could be a surprise game. That includes NSO, so you can also say Diddy Kong Racing.
Okay, OG Diddy Kong Racing coming to NSO is my surprise for the year. My 3 games, I really think Breath of the Wild remaster is going to be a launch title because so many people who had not been into Nintendo at all, that was their first Nintendo game, and that's kind of the defining game of the Switch. And so I can just see this showing what it used to look like and then cutting to what it looks like now, where that's kind of a 2-for-1, where it's showing existing players, here's why you want to upgrade. Remember your games? This is what they're going to look like from now on. Where then people who haven't played before are just going to be like, oh, this looks cool. This is a powerhouse. So I'm going with that. I think Mario Kart 9, I already mentioned it, so we're just going to stick with it, even though that's the obvious one. And then for myself, I would like a Donkey Kong 64 sequel, or just a 3D Donkey Kong game with K. Rool as the bad guy. We don't need anything crazy, and bring back the Kongs from Donkey Kong 64. Give me Lanky. I miss him. I miss that long-armed farting dude.
And because of the new land and the new remake, I see a very it's a potential. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Project Silver Star has been waiting for its time.
Right.
Soon.
I mean, Donkey Kong is coming. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think that because of them actually being in the swing of making these movies and these shows and whatnot, I think, obviously you got to start with Mario and you got to start with, Zelda to play it safe because those are like, your known people. But now that there's the theme parks and whatnot and Smash is crazy popular, I think they can kind of force games to be popular like they did with Animal Crossing. I know the pandemic helped, but also Isabelle for Smash really helped. And so I could see them doing something with ARMS. And
Legs.
Something with, they honestly could. That could be the sequel. ARMS 2.
Calves.
This time there's legs.
Calves.
It's gonna be elbow.
My YouTube channel used to be called the Young Calves. That was my my name for the Nintendo competition. So we'll go with calves.
Calves. Okay.
It's
All
gonna
right.
be elbows, and it's gonna be like the theme song will be by Ludacris. Like throw them both. Oh, I'm kidding.
I
Okay.
can't wait for
All
the
right.
series ears.
Ears.
Right
Just,
after questionable eyes.
just a reminder to the chat and also to the podcast group. If you see a question, please highlight it because my eyes are out right now.
We are
Um,
at 5 right now.
Just Q&A is starting soon. Right after we finish with this segment, Q&A starts right away. So make sure you drop in your question and we can go ahead and answer it to the best of our abilities here on the podcast. So with that, good job, Zach, on your picks. That I think I see it's very possible. I think we are getting a Donkey Kong, and that's Donkey Kong. The theme park is opening in May here in my backyard here. So I'm gonna go swing out there also and try to get some bananas. Joycey, we got three picks. One of them has to be a surprise.
I love y'all.
Three picks. One of them a surprise. And then what was the other one?
I don't even know.
Surprise, video games, and we had accessories, but we didn't. Really
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, okay. Let me throw in accessories. I've said it on the
Murder.
channel before. Something that goes on top of the Switch 2, which is what those two circular holes are on it, is to hold it stable.
Or add-ons or something
for
like that, yeah.
add-on for 3DS games specifically.
A screen? Okay, yeah. Awesome. So, Joycey, what do you think? 3 games. One of them a surprise.
Okay, so I do think it's going to be a 3D Mario at launch. I know the rumor is Mario Kart, but I still think it's going to be a 3D Mario, and I'm
Okay.
here for it. So I don't think that's going to be really a surprise as much as yay 3D Mario. And I think my other one is going to be some kind of Zelda game. I don't know which one. I don't know if it's going to be a spin-off like Hyrule Warriors. I don't know if it's going to be a remake, but just something Zelda. Now it's on the rumor mill, so I don't know how much of a surprise it's going to be, but I think how good it's going to look is going to be the surprise, and that's going to go to Final Fantasy VII
Nice.
remake and Rebirth.
Not a blurry.
And in the first, and I don't know when it's coming, but I'm gonna put money on it. Clip this, y'all. I'm saying this. If it's not exclusive and it comes out this year, GTA 6 is dropping on Switch 2. Clip it. I said it. I believe it.
GTA was filmed live here in Florida, by where Andre lives, like in Miami, like around that area.
Because in the trailer.
Also, if it's not exclusive, it might be a swing.
No, I live in the suburbs
Okay.
like a normal person.
You don't fight alligators every day?
No, I've never seen an alligator in my day-to-day living. I have to go to.
Once in a while, here an alligator eats somebody's arms off, and
Oh my.
I just feel like I have to defend Florida, and specifically Miami, because there's so many crazy stories. But as someone
Ratchet,
who
Florida.
lived here, it's a very normal, safe place, unless you go to the bad places.
Where they film GTA 6. Gotcha.
I think
Yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
things are like that. Overall,
Disney-
exaggerated things.
Disney-
If you
Wow.
go to South Beach, it will get a little wild, but that's like going
So
down.
now we all know where Andres spends his weekend. So if you ever want to see him,
South Beach.
that's where he's at.
All right, let's go on to Joycey, were you able to give your 3 games? 3 games?
Yeah, that was all 3, and GTA 6 is my
Okay.
my wild card, if you will.
All right, sounds good. Let's go over to Lily. Lily, what do you think? 3 games? One of them a surprise?
I read it very differently. I thought we were talking about year predictions for video games, accessories, and
We changed it.
surprise of the year, meaning
Yeah.
that anything that's like everything overall, it doesn't necessarily have to be video games.
Yeah.
And just for the sake of not repeating what everybody has been saying, because I feel like I agree with a lot of the
Everybody,
things
yeah,
that were
yeah.
mentioned. I'm just gonna tweak it a little bit. So, for video games, I am definitely going to go for a big third party launch. Like, I wouldn't say Grand Theft Auto, but I will lean more forward to, or leaning more to, Final Fantasy. I feel like that could be. I mean, if it's Grand Theft Auto, it's gonna it's gonna be
Oh, crazy.
for history. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, right? So, and I'm also going to go for Star Fox. I feel that it's Star Fox year. I definitely feel that they're first year. I feel like they must. They really have to, because that's an IP that, because we have Metroid, right? And
Mhm.
a Metroid, it's I feel like it's more like a niche kind of IP versus Mario and The Legend of Zelda. I feel like it's a good thing that they're bringing, Metroid Prime 4, of course, because we have been waiting for that for a long time. But Star Fox is kind of, there. It's I feel like it has been forgotten already. So I think it's a good thing for them to bring it. I'll definitely go for a remake or an HD version of any Zelda that we don't have, meaning Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, even one of the 2Ds. If Gresso handles A Link Between Worlds, I'm gonna be very happy. But
It'll
that's
be
for video games.
HDer.
Right. Yeah. Because you know what? Those are the games that I'm not able to play anywhere. I don't have a 3D anymore, a 3DS anymore. So I can't really play those games anymore. But the surprise of the year, I was going to go for The Legend of Zelda cast. I know it's not going to be a surprise because we know we're expecting a movie. But for me, knowing who's going to portray my most beloved characters, yes, it will be a surprise for me. But I have another one that could be a surprise for me. Having like and Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time 3D version, the one that Gresso remastered, in a bundle. That will be a surprise for me. Like to be able to buy something like the 3D All Stars that was limited for the three Mario games, something like that, but more like specifically for those remakes that we cannot play anywhere. Like we don't have it on the NSO, we don't have it available on the Switch. So I feel like if they can do some sort of combo or bundle, that'll be amazing. And accessory wise, I think that there's a huge potential. I agree with Zach in terms of there's a huge potential of having or getting more accessories. You guys remember those days when we had a bunch of Nintendo official accessories it was just crazy. Like a lot of things they were able to put on top of the console. We don't have that anymore. And because of the Alarmo, I feel that was kind of a tease that, hardware is coming. Be prepared. So that's what I have a feeling it's going to happen. But that's
the hilarity of Alarmo when we were thinking it might be switched.
Right, everybody.
Remember, they did that on purpose because every other piece of hardware they dropped flops. So they wanted to secure that the Switch.
That
2
is
would
true.
not
They
flop.
dropped the hardware so that they can, it's like, yeah, you're right. All right, thank you, Lily. Those are our great picks. And Andre, you got your three picks, and your surprise.
Real quick,
Okay.
if they show us the cast, Lily, we have to pick that apart in a 10-hour podcast. We have to pick that apart. Okay.
Invited. Yeah, send the invite.
Sorry, Andre.
Yeah, sure.
No, you're good. So I think you guys mentioned a lot of things that I'm like, we're Star Fox, 3D Donkey Kong. Those make so much sense. I honestly believe that those are not far off. Like I'm being serious. Like not hopium. Like I think they are not far off. They are Switch 2 projects, and they're going to be awesome. But I'm going to add another one to that mix that's kind of in that same realm of Donkey Kong, Star Fox, where it's a great Nintendo IP, but we haven't seen it in a long time. But it has the potential to be amazing. F-Zero. I think there is a new F-Zero in the works, just like there is for Donkey Kong and Star Fox. And when we see it, we're like, oh, that looks crazy in the best way possible. Is that a year one game? That's where I'm a little uncertain. But I got some certainties for you, right? Okay. All right. All right. Strike certainty from the record. Anyway, I think this one makes a lot of sense, though. Luigi's Mansion 4.
Yes!
Please.
Yeah.
I love
Please.
Luigi's Mansion.
Their cadence of releases every 3 years, and
Oh.
we're due for a game in 2025.
Yep.
Luigi's Mansion 3 was one of the best-selling games on Nintendo Switch.
2019.
Mario movie's coming out April 2026. It's the 40th anniversary. It's kind of like the time for it to happen.
Makes
So
sense.
even if it doesn't hit 2025, I think we could at least see an announcement, and it's coming out sometime 2026 at the latest.
Mhm.
I think that's definitely on the table. Beyond that, of course, Metroid Prime 4, 3D Mario Kart, those are like kind of like the givens, right? I'm trying to like go a little deeper. Switch Sports Resort. I think we're getting a follow-up with Switch Sports. That might even be a launch title in conjunction with another game. As Paul was
Mhm.
talking about earlier, it does make sense to go for a 1-2 punch. What's that 1 to that 2? Maybe 3D Mario, maybe Metroid Prime 4. Like there's certainly a potential good matchup there, but I think Switch Sports Resort is on the table. And then for one more, you see, I want to mention this. I don't know if it's the year one title though, and that is Project Legacy. That's a code name for what Monolith Soft has been working on.
The one with the tree?
It's the one with the artwork that's been around for like 7-8 years, and
Yeah,
they recently stopped putting
woman
up.
with
They
sword.
took down their hiring page for the project, and now they're hiring for a new RPG in the future, right?
Mhm.
So the theory is that this game is getting close. The kind of like wrench in this plan I have though for this game to be like a big title this year is that
Mhm.
even though Monolith Soft put out Xenoblade 2 in the launch year of Switch 1, so you would think they'd want to match that, we're getting Xenoblade Chronicles X in March.
Mhm.
So it makes it I'm a little skeptical that they're going to put out 2 releases in the same year. However, they've been working on this game for the entire Switch generation if it's actually coming, right? So it could be one of those things where this dev just has 2 games that are just ready around the same time. We've seen that happen before a few times with different Nintendo devs. So maybe we're getting that Project Legacy new IP game in that first year of Switch 2. So we'll see what happens with that. But now I'll tell you the surprise.
Yeah.
The surprise is that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond will win Game of the Year.
I'm here for it. I'm
I'm
here
here
for it.
Yeah.
People are going to realize that Metroid is just as good as Zelda and Mario.
Yeah.
Oh yes, agreed.
On top of that,
That'd be awesome.
real quick, just picture this. What if we get to the end of the year and all the GOTY noms are all Nintendo games?
Or
The cherry on
Nintendo-
top.
Or on Nintendo console, available on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
No.
Grand Theft Auto 6
no.
available on Nintendo Switch.
You mean
2.
first party Nintendo?
Just-
All first party?
Just all
IPs.
Nintendo.
There is a
No.
We have a
difference.
Mario. What if we have a Mario, Metroid, Arms or Legs, one of them, Star Fox,
PEX.
and
Galoots.
Twilight Princess remake. There you go.
All right. That sounds
I will
good.
add to what
good.
you said,
Crazy.
Andres, about Metroid being just as good. There's a difference, and I feel like people don't really take this difference in between influential and popular. And I would say, as far as influence goes, Metroid is more influential on gaming than Mario and Zelda.
That's
Like
a
you
big
have
thing
the
to say, but I think
the
where you're coming from.
Metroidvania type of games. Like platforms isn't
Sure.
Mario specific. There's platforms in Metroid. But anyways, that's another.
I mean,
it's a hot take, dude.
there is that term, Metrovania, and so every game goes back to the beginning of Metroid compared to that one. So you're
What's
right.
crazy is that all 3 games pioneered gaming. Like I think what some people may not be aware of is that we go back to the NES era. Like Nintendo had like this big 3. It was Mario Bros. It was The Legend of Zelda, and it was Metroid. Like they each kind of took like a slightly different route. And it was actually interesting because the first Mario game is Donkey Kong, right? They
Yeah.
named the game after the
Mhm.
antagonist. Zelda, they named the game after the princess that you're trying to save, and then Metroid, they named it after the thing you're trying to kill. Like they're
Mhm,
let's
yeah,
not. They all the games are like, we're not going to name it after the main character.
Yeah.
it's like
Right.
an interesting thing,
Good
and they
point.
all kind of took they kind of took a slightly different direction with the design philosophy, but they share like a common lineage,
Yeah.
and each series helped to shape the industry in a different way.
Yeah.
I agree.
Ocarina of Time had the first lock-on mechanism.
Yeah,
I agree.
Up until
Yeah.
that, you were never able
Yeah.
to lock on in a game.
Yeah.
I wonder
all-
if
just about all-
Metroid.
So before we get into the Q&A, we got 6 questions in stock right now. I'm going to go ahead and tell you my picks really fast, and they're going to be very, very quick, and neither of you hit them, which is good.
Neither or none of us.
Neither of you.
I'm picking on you, Mike. Don't-
Neither of none of you. Neither
Yes.
of none of
Ninguno.
Look what you did, Joycey. You broke it.
neither
How about
of
that?
none of none of
Windows reset.
Wisdoms.
Mike Odyssey is loading.
So the first game is I have it right here. What's that game? I forgot.
Let me guess. You had like AI like create a game for you.
No. Animal Crossing is my first one. Animal Crossing, the second most selling game. It's a cozy game, so it competes with none of the games that you guys are talking about. It can be released alongside any game. Animal Crossing is
Yeah.
the first one. The other one is either Metopia, something me related, because if it's true that we are getting that social Nintendo network or whatever, and Nintendo is bringing back Mii's and bringing them back in a making a comeback with the Mii's and the little neighborhood and the chatting and all that stuff with Mii's, then there's a Mii game related to that. It's either Metopia or what's the other one? What's the other one? The one everybody wants.
Tomodachi Life.
Tomodachi Life, yeah. Metopia,
Tomodachi Life. I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
yeah, Tomodachi
I think it's
Life.
Tamagotchi.
Yeah. Tomodachi Life and Metopia. The other one is Mario Galaxy 2, which I believe Nintendo is
Ooh.
saving for Switch 2. That's my theory, because it's a better of the both ones. So Nintendo's going to be upscaling it and bringing it over and
That's so
adding like
good.
They're going to add like a Bowser's Fury type of game attached to it, and then just give it to us there. Mario Galaxy 2. Nintendo Land 2 or 3 or 4. I don't know how many there are because I haven't played it.
There's
7
only-
of them?
Sadly, actually.
It's only one. Well, it's making the comeback because I believe in that game. Landon, Nintendo Land, shout out to Landon. And the surprise for the year is gonna be, I don't know. I'm haven't been surprised yet, so it's kind of hard to think about a surprise.
Can I give you one
Um,
that you can
I'm
steal?
gonna, yeah, go ahead, do a surprise while I think about my
Mike's surprise for the year is Super Mario Bros. The movie, the game.
the movie, the game.
Okay.
It's a game. It's a Mario game following the Mario movie.
Well, I'm gonna piggyback on that one. I'm gonna say the Mario movie is based on Luigi's Mansion.
I like that.
Okay.
So it'll be based on that. It'll have Wario and Waluigi in there.
And
because
Demon Yoshi.
there's a demon Yoshi. Is that what you said?
There will be with this movie.
Oh, okay.
Wait, did you
Well-
actually say demon? I thought you said even Yoshi.
No, I said Demon Yoshi.
I understood even as well.
Demon
Well,
Yoshi
Demon
makes
Yoshi
it
That's
sounds
happen.
also
Evil
Demon-
Yoshi.
Darth Yoshi.
Dark Yoshi.
I don't know. That sounds kind of lit.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There's a voice I definitely thought was a video.
quick reminder: Yoshi.
Is a
In his
dinosaur, you know that.
original Inception, in the first games he was in Super Mario World, Yoshi is a Koopa. He is a type of Koopa originally. So, you can go, Dark Yoshi.
It does explain the shell.
Mm-hmm.
I think about that like dogs are a type of wolf, but they love you. So that's kind of how I feel about Yoshi. You know,
Yeah.
he's a Koopa, but he loves you.
Why does he have a
That's okay.
saddle? Why does he have a saddle in
Because
Super
he
Mario
loves-
World?
It's a shell.
Because he loves
Apparently he's
Mario.
a
It's a
Koopa.
shell. It's
It's
not
a
a
saddle. It looks like a saddle.
Oh,
You know, actually, that makes more sense now because in the first Mario movie, The Abomination, that's the subtitle. Like Yoshi's like in that Koopa City, and it doesn't make any sense. But assuming he's a Koopa, it actually does.
Well, also in Super Mario World, if you look at the sprites, when Yoshi sticks his tongue out, Mario's straight up punching him in the back of the head.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty
yeah.
messed up.
Yeah.
Violence.
Because he's a
Oh, okay. All right. So the
That's the
official.
tragic backstory of
Listen,
Darth Yoshi.
I have what Yoshi is officially. Yoshi is a dinosaur
Mhm.
and a dragon. Apparently, he's a dinosaur and a dragon. And in Super Mario World, he's wearing a saddle, and in other games, he wears a shell. But he normally has spikes on his back, not a shell or a saddle.
Oh my.
Well, isn't also Bowser also based off like the Japanese myth of the Kappa?
He is a Koopa.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally call him Koopa in Japan. They don't call him Bowser. If you were to play,
Kappa?
Koopa is a play on Kappa. If you were to play Smash Bros and pick his character, instead of going Bowser, it goes Koopa.
Or
We
King
just had
Koopa
like
would be
three topics for the Nintopics Mini right there.
Right.
Mike, we can add them.
But the Yoshi,
Yeah, like the whole story behind Bowser, how it was created,
For real,
Yoshi,
for real.
and the movie. We have like 3 topics there. There you
By
go.
the way,
Yoshi's gonna have a big year.
Mm.
yeah. By the way, that's a call out to a new show coming this year called In Topics Mini, where it'll be one-on-one. Either Mike Odyssey and one of the people here present, right? And we'll be having a one-on-one discussion on any particular topic for that said week. So stay tuned for the In Topics Mini, which is a little mini version of a podcast, 10 to 15 minute conversation, just a little bite size,
We're
for
gonna
you
try.
to enjoy.
We'll try.
that. Yeah, we'll try that. But I think it's now time for the Q&A, and we do have 7 questions in stock. Lucky number 7. Lily, you want to take over?
Yeah, sure. So we have our first question. Ara, thank you very much for your question. Do we want an OLED, or do you think there's gonna be 2 different Switch models?
Not
I
at
think
launch.
I launched. Yeah, go ahead, Andre.
No, I'll just say I don't think like unless we're talking about like maybe like a color difference or a storage space difference, like
Mhm.
that's the most, and even then I'm kind of skeptical. The colors, yes, because we had 2 for Switch 1. I think that's kind of like expected. There'll be like a
Mhm.
basic one and a more colorful one.
Yeah.
Maybe because Nintendo has done this before, there could be 2 different storage spaces, and it's kind of like an industry standard. But in terms of there being 2 different like screens at launch, I think that's unrealistic. However, I do think that 2 to 3 years from now, we will be talking about a revision, and that revision will likely have better battery. We have heard a recent rumor that coming from Nintendox, so I trust Nintendox, so
Yeah.
but like apparently that from what his source told him, the battery life is basically comparable to Switch 1, which is less than the more modern Switches, right? So it's kind of like already opened the door for, all right, well, we want to switch with maybe a different screen, maybe with better battery life. Like the doors already, it kind of already makes sense. Like the road has been paved for a revision 3 years from now, so Nintendo can make more money. So very good.
Yeah. I also see that that Nintendo Switch OLED to come out with improvements and like improve battery life, and then the rumored chip, the SoC chip, whatever that's 8mm, whatever people are saying that 8mm,
8
but
nanometer,
8 nanometer. As what did I say? Millimeter. Anyway.
Well, that's a whole other innovation.
Yeah, that's the basically what is being said about that is that it's not really on the 8. It's not really 8 nanometer. It's a 7 nanometer, which is based on the same architecture as the 5. So it's actually if they want to release an updated Switch, and then just reduce the nanometer chip so it could be give you more battery, more power. Then they could do that. Just like they did it with the Switch. They reduced.
They did,
So that. Yeah.
I just kind of like thinking about that. Like it's just like, oh, like so the battery's better because it's more efficient.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
They didn't put in a better battery necessarily. They just made it more efficient.
More efficient. The chip. Yeah. So.
I have a question about that.
And all,
Do most people or do majority of people play handheld? Because I will be very, very honest with you. I think I've played this thing in handheld mainly when I'm playing like a 2D game. Echoes of Wisdom was good for that. Octopath Traveler was good for that.
Mhm.
But when I'm playing like, you know, Big Zelda or something like that, I don't usually play in handheld. So I guess my question is like, does the screen really matter?
It does.
Maybe it does, but
There's a lot more.
for me it doesn't.
Like I thought, because I play in handheld in dock mode, I thought there was a lot more people on dock mode. But you'd be surprised when there's a lot more people that play on handheld mode just as dock mode. So kind of
Yeah.
it really does.
I think that you play in portable most of the time, but most people still want to have the option of dock mode because
That's fair.
I'm sorry to any Switch Lite owners out there who only have a Switch Lite, but anyone I've spoken to who has a Switch Lite, they're like, yeah, I like it, but it doesn't dock. Like there's always that point
Yeah,
of
bummer.
conversation where they're always like a little disappointed it doesn't dock.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think probably, I don't know what the numbers are. I know early on there was like a 60-40 thing. Personally, I'm 50-50. And to your point, Joyce, it kind of depends on the game.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Or like
Uh,
that game that I'm like replaying, right? Or if it's like a Mario Kart kind of thing where it's just, or a Tetris where I'm just kind of like, using it to pass the time while I'm listening to a podcast, handheld mode, But if it's like, oh no, this needs all my attention because this is my escape, like Zelda or Metroid or something like that, then that's the TV. I'm putting on the backlight. I'm dimming everything. I'm turning on the candles. Yeah, Okay, there's no candles. I'm just kidding about the candles, but
No, he has sexy time with Samus. That is totally okay. We listen. We don't judge.
All right. Next question in line, and
Wait, real
we'll
quick.
have
Zach wanted to say something real
Yeah, he wanted to say something.
Oh,
Sorry,
I
Zach.
have no clue. Yeah,
Okay.
I have no clue. It was
No.
it was
right
just
there.
that one thing that people keep forgetting about the battery life is this new Switch will most likely be 1080 and not 720 handheld, and so that's going to use more power. So
Yeah,
if it
yeah.
has the
Battery
same
won't
battery
last.
life, that's technically a better battery still.
Yeah.
And if Nintendo wants to make a Labo 2, but not Labo, let's say plastic, a little plastic headset, a 1080p screen is going to be closer or better for your eyes in terms of clarity than a 720p screen.
Boo Mini, thank you so much for that super chat. What are some retro computer games that you used to play as a kid? X, Police Quest, Alf. I used to play Alf, and Wolfenstein.
Define retro.
for me, it was Mortal Kombat.
Anything on PC, computer games. It's computer games or video games.
Computer games, like on
Computer
PC,
games,
like
but
mouse
PC, I
and
think.
keyboard. That's like the dial up. Like back in the 90s, I played Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat. Like
On
mid 90s.
they had it on PC.
That's where I first played Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So I used to play. Well, they have Final Fantasy VII on PC also. I remember I played on the PC. I used to play The Sims, when it first came out on PC. What else did I play on PC?
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I love that. It was
Yeah.
my first official, I would say, cozy game in quotation, but yeah.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minesweeper.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait, I did play that.
Minesweeper
There was another
Fiend.
game. There was like this game where this. I'm trying to remember what it was. There was like this dude that would move, and there was different traps.
The Windows arcade game was
Pitfall?
huge. Yeah, or the pinball arcade
The
game.
pinball arcade game.
Pinball.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a
That was-
classic.
I used to play
I-
chess.
Mine is going to be a little bit dark because I don't know why my mom bought this for me, because I think it was because of Alice. So I was like 10 years old, and the first game that I was playing on PC, very retro, was
Mhm.
American McGee Alice. Not Alice Madden Returns, but the original American McGee Alice. That is very creepy, by the way, but I
Right.
loved it, and I still do love it. Yeah.
I
that's-
didn't really. I don't think I played anything on PC like that because I had a Nintendo.
I mean, I know I used to play games. I just can't remember what games I used to play back in the day.
I guess it depends on how far back we're going, right? Because we're talking
Yeah.
about like
Anytime, before 2000, that's retro. Let's go with that.
Oh, okay. Well, I was,
Were
I'm a
you
little
born yet,
younger.
Andres?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm a '90s baby, right? But the
Oh,
thing
okay.
is, like,
Represent.
I didn't hit the double digits till the 21st century, though. So, like, you know, I was not. I was born '91, just to age myself, right? So we're clear. But like, you know, I was like in the early 2000s. I was a little kid. Like, there was definitely some things that, you know, like.
Andres,
I'm
I
thinking,
remember
like,
when Thriller came out, so don't worry. You know, I'm.
I don't know when that came out, but I like Thriller.
I remember when it came out. I used to have the glove, the jacket, and everything.
80s.
Um,
80s.
um,
I'm an
uh,
80s baby.
another game from
1985 is as far away from right now as 2065.
Oh my.
What?
What?
So
My
Command,
brain-
Chicken Mike Zach. No.
Command and Conquer, like a little strategy game that used to be on PC. Quake 2 was also on PC. That used to play that too.
Oh yeah, Unreal
Um,
Tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
RuneScape. I had my MMO era. Like, there was games. It was even. I don't remember the names of the other ones, but RuneScape was like the first one that I played.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1
Mm,
on PC.
Oh, do you remember all the Flash games you could play, like on Cartoon
Yeah,
Network
yeah.
and Nickelodeon?
Oh,
Like,
There you go. Yeah, there you
The
go.
Batman, the
great.
Batman, the animated series game. was a
Yeah,
bop.
yeah.
Oh, there was like a Teen
It's
Titans
the Teen
fighting
Titans
game.
one where it's a
Yeah.
yeah. I was just about to say that was the other one. I played that like last month. I found an archived version.
So crazy.
So
They
I mean,
should put those all
remember
into, like, a cartridge to play on a console, like a
That'd be
compilation.
cool.
crazy man.
I remember
Oh,
when,
no.
guys, I played Solitaire on the computer.
There, that's a
Yeah,
game
same.
on PC.
Oh,
It's a
well,
PC
I don't know
game.
if you
Dig
guys
Dug.
ever played Pajama Sam. It was like a very children's adventure game. It was a point and click PC game. And that
Yeah.
was like released in the, I don't know, 96 or something.
Yeah,
Like, I was a
Sounds well.
baby.
I
I'm
Pajama
trying to
Sam.
look it up.
I played that one. I played Bejeweled. I played
Yeah.
Carmen San Diego. it was like a lot of little
Ooh,
PC
I
games.
had-
there.
I had a Power Rangers CD-ROM that I got, and I remember I like
Nice.
saved these guys in the desert, and they were like, "Thanks, Power Rangers."
That's awesome.
Core memory unlocked.
I don't like it that when I was born, the games were on floppy disks.
Oh, that was.
Oh yeah, a
wild.
lot of Oregon Trail.
And everybody's like, what is a floppy disk?
It's a square. It's a square little. Actually, it was pretty high technology because it's like a little square like this.
Why
Picture
did my teacher 3D print the save icon?
Picture this. Picture this. Look, picture this, but in the same size as a slice of cheese.
Yeah,
That's-
that's
Yeah.
pretty much.
And that
It's
whole
probably a little
house,
bit bigger
I
than
had
even
a billion of those.
Guys,
Yeah.
picture the save icon is the size of a slice of cheese.
There you go.
Everyone knows what the
Oh,
save
God.
icon looks like.
Nobody played
No.
Mario Teams typing. That's
All right, Pokemon 33. Thank you for
I
your question.
didn't, Paul, but I heard about it. But I didn't play it.
Bloons Tower Defense all day.
Oh, that's a good question.
We
What
have
is-
a question from Pokemon Fan 33. Thank you very much for your patience. You have been here ever since we started.
Yeah.
What week do you guys think that the Switch 2 will be shown games? In all week 3, 4, and 5 of this month? Or do you guys think it will be shown another month?
I'm not sure I should answer this question.
Why not?
So you have to plead the fifth.
It's just there's layers. There's
Okay,
several
okay, okay.
layers.
Okay,
I
okay.
will go back to a couple podcasts ago, which feels like forever ago because we had that break with the new year.
It
But
really
we were looking at the original Switch launch trailer. And the original Switch launch trailer showed, I believe it was 7 games in it. So,
Yeah, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, NBA 2K, Skyrim.
Yep.
I don't know what the 7th one is.
it might have been
Those-
6, yeah.
Good job, Andre.
I mean, the thing is, I edit
Oh wait,
videos.
was it
I
a
look at that
FIFA?
trailer.
Was it a FIFA soccer game?
That
or
would have
no?
been in a different trailer.
Okay.
It's not FIFA. I look at this trailer
Then
like
yeah,
every
it's probably,
day.
It's
so
probably
that's-
6.
I'm gonna say the 23rd.
Arms. Seriously,
Let-
somebody said arms. Was it
I
Arms
think
is
it's
not
a
a
Pokemon
trailer.
fan.
So for the reveal trailer, I'm gonna say the 23rd. The trailer will have
Isn't that the Xbox Direct day?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we'll say the.
Well, I mean, maybe Nintendo doesn't care about Microsoft.
Can you
One
imagine?
of their best publishers.
I don't know. They're having an affair right now, so it might be.
It's-
They might
Maybe
be.
I think it's a marriage.
Maybe it's the 24th
Hopefully,
Yeah,
they've been
24.
dating for so long.
or the 22nd. Maybe it's the 22nd. I don't know. I
Well,
think
actually, you know, it's an interesting thing to bring up the Xbox presentation though, because what if they announced some games that would then be shown off in the Switch 2 review? I don't.
Halo
what
is
if,
also
what if the
rumored.
reveal before so that they can announce those games that are coming to Switch 2 in the Xbox presentation? So I'll
That
just
makes
say,
more sense because maybe they wouldn't even be in the because if there's only 6 or 7 games in the reveal trailer, there's a good chance that Xbox game isn't there.
Yeah.
Xbox will end their presentation by showing all of these games that are available day one on Game Pass, and then they're going to say, and by the way, Game Pass is going to be available on the new Nintendo console, which will be having their presentation tomorrow.
That would be insane.
That'd be lit.
That would be insane. Yeah.
I don't think Furukawa's going to go with it.
No,
I think
Nintendo
one
Switch,
day,
it's
one
also
day
an
we will get
Xbox.
Game
If it were
Pass.
Reggie on Nintendo of America, I could see that happening.
Reggie
But
would've told us already.
Furukawa and Bowser are very calculated people. They're very like this. The horses have these things that you can't really look to the side.
Blinders. They're
Yeah,
called blinders.
yeah, that thing. And so they have the blinders on like this, and they are laser focused on what they need to do, what they got to do. That's why all these leaks have not, like Joyce's meme that she put with Squidward. They're like that. They're doing exactly that because they got their plans already set out. And
Mhm.
I do believe that the trailer could drop before the presentation, and it makes more sense because then Xbox can say that these games are coming to Nintendo Switch 2 and have the logo on there also. So I'm gonna say to answer that question, I'm gonna say anytime before the Xbox presents.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
do want to.
fair. Go ahead.
I do want to speak on the layers thing because I don't want to leave you guys hanging, right? Like, I want to explain the reason why I don't think I should tell you when I think it's going to happen. I'll tell you.
We know how onions work. We seen Shrek.
I'm
The
just
We know you
saying.
layers.
secretly work at Nintendo, Andres. Like we've
No,
been known.
that is not what I am saying.
That is a nice boulder.
He secretly
I like
works
that
at
boulder.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
But there's layers, right? There's reasoning behind it. I'll first tell you that I think like there's a great chance it happens sometime this month, right? I'll say that. But the reason there's layers, right, is because this wouldn't be the first time I've said something. If I put out a prediction and it's wrong, I mean it's fine. But I think because we've been down this road more than twice,
Yeah.
like it's just kind of those things where maybe I should just let it happen.
Yeah, for real, right?
But also, there have just been things that have been discussed that do kind of impact my thinking, and I think I should just. There's a window of time there, and so with all that
So
in
you
mind, I think
January? You want to just leave it at that?
layers.
Shrek. Watch Shrek 1. Watch Shrek 1. Donkey and Shrek talk about layers. Donkey has layers.
What about cakes? Cakes have layers.
That's a very good Eddie Murphy, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
No,
All
but
right.
Andres, walk with me, talk with me, friend. So, because I am
It's
just,
still a public
team-
forum, though, so this is different.
I know, but you still my friend. You said you.
Oh yeah, I know, but this isn't like we're walking on the sidewalk in a neighborhood where I could just totally level with you and be like, yeah.
But see, I'm not interested in layers. I mean, I would be interested in layers in that scenario, but for this, can we just be on Team January? Because I'm just.
I'm on,
Team
okay, I mean,
January.
I am on Team January.
Okay,
I'm
we're
on
Team January. I don't
Yeah,
have
I
an
mean-
idea of a week either.
Yeah.
January
Every
only
time I
has
predict
about
something,
20
I'm wrong.
There's only 20 days left in January. I mean, it has to be any of those days.
I really
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
it would be yesterday. I was just like, I woke up yesterday. I was like, I think
Today is the
today's
day. It's finally happening.
Yep. I don't know why. I was just like, today's the day, and then it wasn't. And I was
There's
like,
a lot of buzz.
But
Yeah.
I do have a very quick question, yes or no answer to everybody here on the cast. Do you think they're gonna prepare a Nintendo Direct for the announcement, or just
Yes.
a trailer drop within their official accounts? Trailer drop.
I think it's because they have been setting the precedent that they announce things before they happen, and they tell us, "Hey, don't expect Nintendo Switch 2 presentation during this blah blah blah." I think they have been setting the expectation that they will announce it beforehand.
All right.
Especially if there is a shorter window, even if it's not a month, maybe it's 3 months. You know, I think they have set the expectation that they will do an announcement prior to that. So let's go ahead and you have the next question.
Yes, Justin, thank you so much for sending your question.
Shout out.
Do you think full games will be on the cart, or are we looking at a partial game with a download code containing the rest of the content?
That is a good question.
good
Will we all digital, or will we have a cart? I'm gonna say half and half. Nintendo will continue to do physical games. Third parties already started doing that.
Well, I want to bring up the patent that talked about how there'll be a way to, you know, use smaller size files of games, and then through the AI they can kind of
Sure.
where it needs to be, and that's going to allow a lot of developers to put on bigger games onto the cartridge. Now, I think there might be, you know, I don't think it's just like a clear cut, oh well, this is a 60 gigabyte game, let's just turn it to 20 gigabytes and there, voila, there's no changes or anything to worry about. I think there are still like layers to that situation, but I think it's still going to be a tool that's going to make it easier for more devs to fit on bigger games onto the cartridge. But games are also getting bigger. We were talking about 4K gaming, so there probably will still be partial downloads, not across the board, but it's gonna be an element the same way it was for Switch. Nintendo, though, I think Nintendo will. I agree with you, Mike, that you won't have to do that in most cases.
I agree.
Agree.
All right, next question.
Kevin, question. Do we think the next 3D Mario will be a true open world like they were starting to build upon with Bowser's Fury?
Yes.
Yes, I would love that. Bowser's Fury is kind of like Kirby. You know, it's like the world opens up as you proceed for levels, and I love that part. That I said
cool.
part. That part, not fart. That part of the game. I love that part of the game where you can Bowser's Fury, you unlock levels, right? And then the world opens up more until you have a fully open world, right? That'd be cool if they do it that way, like Bowser's Fury. So my answer for that is yes.
There's a reason why I think Yoshi is going to play a big role this year, and I think some of it has to do with the next 3D Mario. I think the same way Plessy played a big role as Mario's mount in Bowser's Fury. I think Mario's true main companion, Yoshi, he's gonna help Mario run across the massive landscape of the Mushroom Kingdom on Switch 2.
I love that in Mario World, Super Mario World, you were rescuing Yoshi's friends throughout the castles. You know, little eggs, and then Yoshi just kind of stepped on the mine, murdered the whoever's inside the castle.
Yeah,
I love how you blew up the castles with the TNT.
Right. All right, next question, Tony.
Tony, since Square Enix had announced Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for PC, do you guys and ladies think they'll bring Final Fantasy II Remake for Xbox Series and the upcoming Switch 2?
Yes. That's one of my predictions.
Yes. I mean, Nate the Hate just talked about in his podcast today. He's a pretty credible insider. He doesn't get everything right, but I mean, he gets more things right than most. So it feels like a relatively safe prediction.
Yep.
I mean, Joyce, you were talking about earlier that like Square Enix is like they really want to work with Nintendo. Like we know that, right? So I mean, it just makes sense.
And it's already on the rumor mill.
We want you back.
Developing it for the Switch too.
Not
we developing it, but doing the whatever the word is.
Yeah, that's good. All right, next question. That's a good question.
Thank you so much for that question. So, Gabbit 2483, will Red Dead Redemption 2 actually release on Switch 2? Will it perform better than current console version? I'll say yes. It will perform. I wouldn't say look better or perform better. It will be smooth. That's all I can say for the current console version.
I'm gonna say it'll look great, as good as any other console, maybe just a teensy bit better.
It'll look better than the PlayStation 4 base and Xbox One base versions.
I agree.
Is that
Very
shade?
specific. There you go.
There you go.
Very
That's
safe
shade
bet,
call.
and I agree.
That is the answer. That is the answer.
That is the correct answer. Christina, thank you so much for your question. Could the game, the Final Fantasy Life I, Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time, which was supposed to be released in October, now
Yeah.
April, be
Twice.
a clue to the Switch 2 launch in April?
Yep, I
Has
think
it
so.
really been delayed all the way until April?
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
Fantasy Life I has been delayed
Three
once,
times.
twice, 3 times. It just keeps happening. We keep thinking it has to do with Switch 2, and we keep feeling kind of dumb. But
Yeah.
if it's actually coming out in April, if it's really been delayed, I didn't realize it was delayed that much. Like,
Yeah,
that's
for real.
crazy.
I do have a question for Christina, though.
Maybe.
I have a big question for Christina. Christina, what does the C on the Switch 2 Joy-Con stand for?
Cat.
Dickachinos.
Because she has Christina C on there, so she should know, right?
Maybe it stands for USB-C, for the USB-C port at the top.
USB-C.
Like it's just the C port
Possibility.
button.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe
You're
it stands
right.
for coin. Every time you press the button, the Switch 2 pops out a
It just
Mario coin.
dings.
Coin of the coin.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
All
where I was
right.
going.
Thank you for that question, Christina.
H
H1.
Yeah, replaying
Mon.
Breath of the Wild. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying something silly. Go ahead.
What developer decided to give Zelda this cake
Cake.
appreciation cutscene? Aonuma is a cake man, confirm.
So, in case anyone is unsure what
Yeah.
Hmon is referring to, there is one of the flashbacks in Breath of the Wild. Link and Zelda are interacting with each other, and there's a frog. She goes to pick it up, and we
Yeah, I
get
know which
a
one they're
very
talking about.
nice look at the cake. And
What
you
cake?
know,
Is that
Cake
another
is
word
a
for
lie.
Zelda's butt?
yes,
Zelda's butt?
yes.
Okay. I didn't know. I
Yeah.
We remember.
They would have said Peaches, but because it's Nintendo and she's already a character, they thought that would be confusing. So we switched.
I agree.
Anyway,
Totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean, they made Zelda an attractive woman. I mean, that's what they decided to do, which makes sense because she's Zelda.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good question.
Well, thank you for your question. A Nintendo Let's Play. Thank you so much for that question. Mike, ever play Rush 2049 at the arcade back in the day?
Yes, I have. I
What is
spent a lot of quarters on that in my local arcade. Actually, I played it in a. There used to be a pizza parlor in front of my near our house. So I used to go with my friends in the '80s, and they had 3 arcades. One of them was that one, and then Mario Brothers, and then the house also had Duck Hunt, everything. Those
It
were the
looks a lot
days.
like
man.
cruising.
Those were the days, man. I want to go back.
What's different about Rush 2049 versus like Cruising USA or something?
I can't wait till they make a time machine. You know, because I'll go back there and just eat all the pizzas for like 50 cents.
Not worry about
Oh
a thing.
man,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what if you just make a lot of money and buy all these old games and set them up, but that doesn't save that you can't get pizza for 50 cents that way.
Like cruising was like Rush 2049 is like cruising but in the future. That's all I can think about. They're very
So
similar.
cool. I miss the 90s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
good
Such a
times.
sweet and innocent
Good
time.
times. Very quickly, I just want to say shout out to everybody who's watching or listening because we have passed 400 viewers. So thank you so much.
Hey.
Guys.
You all are
Um,
people of culture.
Yep. So do you guys another one for Pokemon Fan 33? Thank you so much for the question. Do you guys think they'll show this Nintendo Switch or the announcement March 31st to annoy people?
that would be awesome. I would love that.
Like I said earlier, March 32nd.
No, but that would be
March
fun.
32nd.
That would be the best ever, and the best troll ever. Not only that,
Yeah.
but I would love for it that what every single leak and every single cat has been completely wrong, and they just show us something completely different. And this, the biggest troll ever. Nintendo leaked everything on purpose so that we can concentrate on everything over here. well, they did their own thing over here. That would be the biggest troll ever. So, Marshall,
I just made a joke poll that kind of plays on that. What
Right.
do you think will happen first? Nintendo Switch 2 being revealed or Nintendo Switch 2 being released?
That's a tough call.
The Switch
oh,
3
oh,
might be
oh.
out before the
That's
Switch
fine.
2 gets revealed.
Yeah.
It gets released mid-March. It gets revealed late March.
I mean, I
No.
thought Alarma would switch too, so
That'll be good.
so what are your thoughts? What are your ladies and gents' thoughts on Silk Song? You're gonna. I
It's
can't really.
an urban.
It's you're gonna hear about it more this year. Summer
Hopefully.
in the summer.
You think so? I think it was an urban
Winter.
myth.
Yes, I have to say yes because I can't say no more. I'll talk to you guys behind the scene.
There's layers.
There's layers. There's good layers.
Okay. Does it involve cake?
It doesn't involve cake,
I
unfortunately.
don't know. You're getting sleepy, Joycey, now.
Yep.
Summer,
No,
summer,
I hope
summer.
that's the case.
that'd
Yep.
be nice.
That'll be nice. And those are all of our questions. In case anybody that's watching, I missed your question, let me know. But I think that we covered pretty much everything that was sent our way. But let us know.
All right. So yeah, that's all. the
Wow.
questions. Awesome. We made it through the question and the Q&A. Thank you so much, guys, for submitting
quick.
your awesome questions. And yeah, Josie, go ahead.
Remember when we said we only wanted to have a 2-hour podcast?
Yeah, it's a Nintendo Switch 2 podcast, and it's the first one, so I'm pretty sure.
teasing. You're supposed to just
I want-
laugh.
Also, there's 6 of us right now. So yeah.
Yeah.
We did our best.
Yeah.
We did pretty good, pretty well.
For the record, we did pretty good, I have
Yeah,
to
we
say. Because this could have been longer.
Oh yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, my friends, you guys have been incredibly amazing today.
Yeah, you're on fire.
Let me tell you something. The most exciting part of all of this is that we are just days away from seeing the official Nintendo announcement for the Nintendo Switch 2. Okay?
Mhm.
I mean, it's gonna be a day when we least expect. People are thinking January, February, but guess what? We're literally days away from getting a glimpse of what the next generation is bringing to us. That next Mario is probably gonna be in a trailer. Maybe the next Splatoon, Animal Crossing, Mario Kart. I mean, Metroid Prime 4. You know, this is a year, my friends. This is Nintendo Switch 2 year. I know there's a lot of people out there who are losing a little bit of patience on this, but I think it's because Nintendo actually said something to begin with, right? Once Nintendo said, "Hey, we're gonna be revealing it within this fiscal year," when? Tomorrow? But if Nintendo would have not said anything, we would have been speculating maybe the end of the year, maybe 2026, the beginning, you know. But because Nintendo said something within this fiscal year, the fiscal year ends in 2 months. Right, 2 months at the end of March. So we are about to, man. This year will be an amazing year in when it comes to Nintendo games. It is our year. It is Switch 2 year. There's one thing that I asked you guys to do is look at all of these people here on the cast. Go into each of their channels and go and follow on Twitter. Either Twitter, YouTube, go follow all of them because they have something each to bring when it comes to Nintendo Switch 2. And in this podcast, we're gonna be diving deep into Nintendo Switch 2 like there's no tomorrow because there's no tomorrow, you know.
I only bring Zelda. I don't know nothing about Switch 2. I just bring Zelda stuff.
All right, my friends, thank you. Right now, we are gonna go around the podcast. Let me go ahead and where's the music? I'm looking for the music here.
Oh no, here we go.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Oh, by the way,
Nintendo podcast.
the Minish
That's
Cap,
it.
the Minish Cap turned 20 years as a
Twen-
20 years anniversary
Whoa.
today. 20 years since it was released.
20 years. Happy anniversary, Minish Cap. You have been amazing. I have not played it yet, but one day I will play
You
you.
should play it. It's available on the NSO. Well, plus expansion pack.
All right, so without further ado,
Find the music now. Ooh.
I like this. Hold on. Is this jazz?
This is the music. Without further ado, I want to introduce to you the cast of tonight's In Topic podcast, starting with the one, the only Joycey J. Where can we find you, Joycey?
You can find me on Twitter because I will never call it X. Another year of me still not calling it X. At DJ Yay! At DJ Joycey. It's a crazy old lady who loves video games. And of course, you can see me here every Friday night for the In Topics podcast.
Thank you, Joycey. Yes, you can find her every single night with her with the shade umbrella at the In Topic podcast.
This is an umbrella now, y'all.
Yeah,
You can block the rain with that.
yeah.
It looks very
As big as it is,
Splatoon-like.
probably could.
Splatoon-like.
And great,
It looks very Splatoon-like.
Thank you.
the great Dr. Professor Paul Guild Network. Where can we find you? What you got going on?
On YouTube and on X, I am at Paul Gale Network. What I've had going on? Staying safe, in Los
Yes.
Angeles. There's a lot of craziness going on right now. So, staying safe and having a little bit of fun here and there. Anything new in particular? No. But New Year's resolution / goal, because I didn't get a chime in earlier, and I'll make it really quick.
Yeah.
I've been kind of holding off on when I was going to do it, but I think this will be the year because it sounds like a significant amount of time in between. But I think by summer I will have my Dragon Ball Z
I knew it.
sequel done.
Nice. Turning Super Saiyan. Wait, Super Saiyan 2?
Paul will have his Dragon Ball Z sequel done by the end of this summer. Find out next time on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Then Topics Edition.
Exactly.
On the next episode
All right.
of the Nintopics podcast.
All right. Thank you, Paul. And with that, over to Zach Hendricks. Zach, what do you got going on and where can we find you?
What up, everybody? As if I haven't been here for 3 hours. No, I've got all the stuff that I mentioned in the beginning going on. I always do that. I'm always like, hi, every time we're signing out.
That's icebreaker. Yeah.
But like I mentioned in the beginning, I'm doing a lot of cool film stuff. One thing I forgot to mention that I'm really excited about, my film that I'm doing next month, the creature for it is being designed by someone who did the concept art for Amazing Spider-Man and also designed Bebop and Rocksteady for the new Michael Bay Ninja Turtle movies a few years back.
Yep.
So I'm geeking for that. I'll have more details about that on my channel at Zach Hendricks Media. You can find me here every Friday night on the Nintopics podcast, and then when it ends, I do the post-podcast party where I stream a little bit of Smash. No, I am not playing right now. I'm just holding this. Where I stream a little bit of Smash over on my YouTube channel. So if you want to stick around, I see we still got 69 people, nice, in here watching. So feel free to join us or join me and keep the conversation going.
It's actually 410 total.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
only
but that's
seeing the
total,
YouTube
but,
numbers.
YouTube-
Oh, yeah, okay.
Anyone
all right.
who's not on YouTube can come too.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Zach. And over to Lily. Lily, what you got going on? Where can we find you?
You can find me on YouTube. It's Lily Hyrule. Like I said at the very beginning of the podcast, when we started the podcast, is that it's very weird that my last video was posted on November due to something that it was kind of going on, and hopefully it has been forgotten. I don't really think that I'll be posting videos right now.
Mhm.
However, I will be live on the Nintopics podcast here every Friday. It's also
Nice.
available on my channel, so it's being broadcasted on my channel. So whichever you would like to join, whether if you want to be here on Mike's Odyssey's channel or my channel, we'll be live there. But I can tell you that a bunch of videos are cooking. So whoever has not, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would really, really appreciate if you can subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell so you can get notified as soon as I upload my first video of 2025, because I don't have an actual date, but it's in the works right now. So,
All right.
and yeah, that's pretty much
Nice.
everything I have for now. Yeah.
Awesome. And over to our special guest, Andres Restart. Andre, where can we find you? What you got going on this week?
You can find me at Andres Restart on YouTube. And I don't know. Every day something new happens, so we'll see. But
There you go.
things are happening. I do want to make a Zelda related video. I'll say that. But
Yay!
Yay!
Very fun.
Awesome. So you can find Andres Restart over at Andres Restart on YouTube, also on Twitter X. I can tell you, he is one of the best analysts we have on YouTube when it comes to Nintendo. Best analytical videos and breakdowns and all stuff. So I highly recommend. And this is what we're talking about today, or something like that. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, go
You
ahead.
do have a certain cadence.
That's a subscribe that you're going to enjoy. So go ahead and check him out. Thank you so much, Andrew, for being with us today. And
Yeah,
hopefully we have you soon.
Yes,
All right.
please.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you can find me here every single day at the Odyssey, Monday through Friday. We have content. We're gonna start them in topic minis episode, which is like little podcasts like this, but short bites on the regular, like a regular video. It's gonna be in the afternoon around 5 p.m. in the afternoon Eastern time. And the music, what music is this? What is that? Anyway,
I don't know. I'm just bopping to it.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
and of course, every Friday night here at the Nintopic Podcast, I am starting to stream. I'm going to try to see if I can stream at least 4 times a day. Not four times a day.
What?
What?
I believe in you.
That's commitment right there.
Not 4 times a day. 3 times a week. Okay.
Oh, okay.
3
I was like,
times
4
a
times
week.
day.
3 times a week. I'm getting my stream set up so that I can go ahead and start streaming and have that ready. But yeah, you can find Nintendo Switch 2 content on the channel Monday through Friday. And yeah. Thank you so much for your support. We are definitely going in the right direction on the channel, and you guys have been super amazing. Thank you for being here. All 400 and I think 30 at one point. They were here at one point.
Yep.
You guys have been amazing, and I hope you guys can continue to join us every single Friday to hang out. Guess what? It's the best time to end your weekend, right, and start your weekend here at the entire podcast. Before we let you go, we got 2 very important things we got to let you know. And let me tell you, these are 2 very important things. Number 1, don't give up. Don't
give
do
Don't
it.
do that because we need
Never
you.
give up. You never know.
One time I almost gave up, and then I was like, nah.
Don't do it. You're not supposed to, because you never know. Guess what? Maybe you give up today, and tomorrow, whatever you were fighting for, that was your day. That was your day, and you just gave up one day before. Don't do it.
If
Fight
you give up
every
today,
day.
you won't see Switch 2 tomorrow or next week.
Every
or
day it's his
whatever.
own battle. So just fight for today and give your best all the time. And number 2,
Journey
Journey
on.
on.
Journey on.
Journey on. This is not the song that I want to put. I'm going to find a music.
Yeah, that song's kind of weird.
Nintopics
What is-
podcast.
what is
All
it?
things Nintendo.
What is that?
We have a karaoke overdue. We have to.
1, 2.
Y'all don't want me doing karaoke. I mean. Zach just sing us out. We fine, Mike. Just let Zach sing us out. We're good.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
It's time to get your dance and your smile on.
My friends,
Feeling happy
we love you.
with Nintopics Podcast. I feel like dancing with Nintopics Podcast. It's been a hard week, but I feel better now. It's time to flow with the Nintopics Podcast.
Come on, Paul. Where are your moves?
Oh yeah,
Oh, the dancing chorus.
now the plushies and dancing.
I have a
Waggle,
coffee.
waggle.
Joycey, where's your line?
I feel
Good
like
night, guys.
dancing with
End the show, Mike. I'm tired.
Take care. See you next week.
Better now. It's time to flow with the